There is one link in the group. Just see if it's audible for you in YouTube. Is visible? Is the class visible? YouTube link. No. Okay, settle down, guys. Settle down. Let's start for the day. Settle down, guys. Is the voice? Yeah. Voice or the sir? Parala sir. Parala. Okay. Fine. Okay, let's start, guys. Hello. Let's start. So let me give you the agenda for today and the next few days first. Some of you watching online live, some of you watching recording, some of you watching here. Same for all of us. Doubts you guys can ask easily. Online live and recording. Doubts alone will be limited. Okay. Accounts today is 21st November, 22nd November, 23rd November. 3 days. Today we are starting now around 2. We will go till 6, 6:30 or 7 is my cut off. If you have to go far away, you can leave earlier. No problem at all. But we might go till 7 depending upon the flow. Tomorrow also similar. We'll start at 2 p.m. and go on till 7 p.m. Recording not an issue. Online live not an issue. Based on how much we're able to complete on these 2 days, 23rd we might have a longer session. Start at morning at 10 itself and go till evening depending upon how much is left, what is needed. 24th November is anyway fixed. 7:30, yeah, 7:30, correct, 7:30 to 7:30, we'll have 1 day law marathon. This is the agenda. If everything gets over in this, good to go, otherwise we'll plan if you need more class, but I think this should be enough. Now for accounts, the agenda is, today I am going to start off with accommodation bills, and then once accommodation bills gets over, I'll get into consignment. Tomorrow full day will predominantly go with consignment. End of the class I'll start with NPO. 23rd full day for NPO. Fine guys, okay. And then other topics here and there we will fill it. Fine. Now what are we going to do? Most of you, anybody studying accommodation bills, consignment or bills, bills, consignment or NPO for the first time? Anyone studying for the first time? 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Bills chapter have you learned before? Bills of exchange? Yes, no. Not even studied bills chapter. First time studying bills. First time studying, fine. First time you're studying bills. Okay. So what I will do, I will just spend the next 15-20 minutes for introduction of bills. For those who already know, it will be revision. And then straight away, I will go into accommodation bills. Okay. First part of chapter is not that difficult. The difficult part in this chapter is only accommodation bills, what students feel. So we're going to target on that, but I'll give you a small introduction of bills. We are only going to solve, keeping time limitation, we're going to solve our study math sums predominantly, but that will cover all the concepts. Then you go and practice extra sums. We're going to focus mainly on concepts. Let's go to bills of exchange, guys. Easy chapter, scoring area. If you get, you can get a 10-mark question or 8-mark question also. Let's take a case. So let's say we have a seller and then we have a buyer. Okay, let's say seller is Sanjeev, who's selling goods. Buyer, let's keep it as Mitansh, who's buying goods. Sanjeev sold goods of, I'm giving basics for those who don't know what is bills. Okay, goods for 30,000 to Mitansh. Mitansh bought the goods. What he bought? He bought cricket bats. Okay. Oh, wrong time to talk about cricket, guys. Sorry. Okay. I will try to stay away from cricket examples for some time. It is hurting. Okay. Let's go back. Let's go back. He bought some, let's say, shirts. Okay. He bought some shirts. Where Mitansh told, I don't have money today. I will pay you after a few months. So Mitansh raised the, told I will pay you later. Seller told, okay, fine. You pay later. For now, I will give you a bill. We call it bills of exchange. Mitansh told, okay, I will accept this bill. I will pay after 3 months. This everybody knows, correct? So for the seller, this bill is called what? Bills receivable. I am not going to go in regular batch speed of 10 hours. We are going to keep exam in mind and be crisp perfectly what we need for exam. So for seller, this is called what? Bills receivable. For buyer, it's called bills payable. Now remember, question will many times in this chapter and in average due date chapter, they will keep using the word accepted, accepted, accepted. Who is creating the bill here? Seller. Who is accepting? Buyer. Generally, the person who is accepting is accepting for a liability. Is accepting for a liability. So the person accepting, for him it is a bills payable. The person issuing, for him it is a bills receivable. That is the first important point where we get stuck in accommodation bills everywhere in the chapter. Person accepting means for him it is a bills payable. Person who is issuing, for him it is a bills receivable. Is this clear for everybody, guys? Any doubts in this? No. Super. Okay. So usually for our syllabus, person issuing is generally seller, person accepting is a buyer. Now, what is the entry for credit sales? Normal entry for credit sales. You all studied so many times. What is the entry? Debtor to sales. In this case, 30,000 to sales. Who is my debtor? My debtor is Mitansh. Account debit to sales. First, when credit sale is made, I will create the credit sale entry. Later, what Mitansh is saying, take the bill and take away the debtors. He is giving the bill instead of making the payment, correct? So, Mitansh will be replaced with what? Bills receivable account debit to Mitansh. Are you able to follow, guys? Okay. Everybody clear? So basic entries, when bill is issued, the entry will be bills receivable to debtor. This is for seller. Can you tell me what is the entry for buyer? Quick revision. Entry for buyer, guys. Normally it will be purchase account debit to creditor. Creditor. Who is my creditor? Sanjeev. Later when I am making the settlement, what entry will? Settlement by what? Normally when I am settling, it will be Sanjeev to cash or bank. In entries in the books of Mitansh, this entries in books of, in books of Sanjeev, I won't write Sanjeev's name. This is in books of Mitansh. This is for purchase. This is for payment. But instead of giving cash, I am giving a bills. It will be Sanjeev to bills payable. Is this fine, guys? We are not memorizing the entry. We are not memorizing the entry. We are only trying to build on the entry. Are you following, guys? Clear? So, for debtor, when he makes the payment, normally it will be bank to debtor. Correct? When seller is getting the money, he will pass bank to debtor. Instead of bank to debtor, is going to pass bills receivable to debtor. This entry, I am sure 90% of you watching know this entry. Nothing great. We don't have entries in this. Okay. Now let me just go do some few basic sums for everyone, just to revise the chapter. I don't know if you revised also. We'll just do a few basic sums. Where is illustration 1? Down, is it? Okay. These kind of sums and all will not come in exam, guys. But I'm just going to do a few 4-5 sums quickly in 10 minutes, just for you to revise, and for those who are studying first time to grasp the chapter. Very easy chapter. Illustration 1, if it comes in exam, you are lucky. Okay. Unlike India. Follow. Miss Sujata receives 2 bills from Aruna. Who is receiving? Sujata is receiving 2 bills from Aruna on 1st Jan 2020, dated for 2 months. Bills, in bills chapter, duration of bills is important. Date of bill is important. The first bill is for 10,200 and second bill is for 15,000. Perfect. Second bill was endorsed. Let's understand what is endorsement first. We took an example here of seller is Sanjeev, buyer was Mitansh. Sanjeev sold goods for 30,000. He received a bills receivable. For him it is a bills payable. Correct? Now, Sanjeev, in a different transaction with somebody else, let's say behind Mitansh. Yes. Bala, okay. Sanjeev, in a different transaction, purchased goods from Bala for 30,000. Are you following? So, if I am Sanjeev, I will receive money from Mitansh and I will pay whom? Bala. So, instead of me getting from Mitansh and paying Bala, I will directly ask Mitansh to pay to Bala. This is called endorsement of a bill. Is the speed all right, guys? Okay. If anyone is feeling fast, let me know. Especially I am looking at those studying first time. Is the speed fine? Okay. So, Sanjeev will ask Mitansh to pay that money to Bala. Let's look at Sanjeev's book. In Sanjeev's books, he already has first credit sale entry. Debtors, Mitansh account debit to sales. He converted to bills. Bills receivable to debtors, which is Mitansh. Correct? This is the entry for bills. Same Sanjeev, when he purchased from Bala goods, what entry he would have passed? Purchase account debit to creditor, which is Bala. Correct? So, in Sanjeev's balance sheet, I'll write something, tell me if it's correct. In Sanjeev's balance sheet, I have a bills receivable of 30,000. I have a creditor, Bala, it is 30,000. Is it correct or wrong, guys? Hello? Is it correct or wrong? Loudly, guys. Yes? How many of you yes? How many of you no, not correct? I'll again repeat. Sanjeev, I want you guys to be loud. Come on. Sanjeev, from Mitansh, he has to receive 30,000. So, for him, bills receivable 30,000. Sanjeev has to pay to Bala 30,000. For him, liability creditor is 30,000. What Sanjeev is telling, asking Mitansh to directly pay to Bala, that means this bill will be given to creditor. So, the entry will be creditor account debit to bills receivable. It is not creditor to debtor because debtor was already replaced with bills receivable. Are you following, guys? Everybody clear with this? This is my entry for endorsement. Entry for what, guys? Endorsement. What is endorsement all about? Asking my receivable to pay to my liability creditor. Clear? Everybody following, guys? This endorsement. Quick revision. I don't know when you studied bills last. Okay. Now, here Sujata receives two bills from Aruna. Who is the seller? Who is the buyer? Two bills are for 10,200 and 15,000. They wanted to pass entries in the books of Sujata. Who is the seller? Who is the buyer? Sujata is. I can hear seller and buyer. Exactly what I wanted. No unanimous answer. So, seller or buyer? Now, Sujata receives two bills from Aruna dated 1st Jan. The bill was for 10,200 and second bill is for 15,000. And look at this. Second bill was endorsed in favor of Shri and first bill is discounted. Who can endorse? Who can discount? Only the seller can do it. Correct? Only the person who has bills receivable, I can only endorse or I can only discount with bank. So here, when I say Sujata is receiving two bills, she received two bills from Aruna. I gave it to Aruna, she accepted, I got it back. Are you following? So I am receiving two bills. My entry will be bills receivable to Aruna for both the bills. Are you following? Who is Aruna? Debtor. Correct? Debtor is replaced with bills. Are you following, guys? So my entry is basically first I pass debtor to sales. Now I am passing bills receivable to debtor. Here debtor is Aruna 25,200. Everybody clear with this? The first mistake is you don't identify correctly. Only when the word accepted, the party accepted, for them it is a bills payable. Here I received, I gave it, got it back. Are you following, guys? So even if that is confusing, the second part of the paragraph, endorsement and discounting, can happen only if I have the bill. Are you following, guys? So second bill, what is second bill? How much? 15,000 was endorsed in favor of Shri. What's the entry for that? Shri account debit to bills receivable. Shri account debit to bills receivable. How? Second bill was endorsed in favor of Shri. It's like in our example, Sanjeev is giving his bill to Bala. Sanjeev is giving his bill to Bala. That means what Sanjeev is doing? Giving his bill to Bala means for Sanjeev, Bala is a liability. Same way here, Sujata is giving that bill to Shri. For Sujata, Shri is a liability. She is settling the liability. So Shri account debit, two bills receivable. Second bill amount 15,000. Are you following, guys? Got it? Okay. Last bill, what she is doing? The first bill 10,000. She discounted immediately with the bank. Have they given any rate of interest here? No. But the bill worth 10,200 is discounted for 10,000. Let me quickly explain what is discounting of a bill, because accommodation bill revolves around bill discounting. So we should know what is discounting. Same example, Sanjeev sold goods to Mitansh for 30,000. Now Sanjeev has told Mitansh, urgently I need the money. Credit period was 3 months. After 1 week, suddenly Sanjeev had an emergency, he needed an urgent need. He asked Mitansh, can you please pay in advance? What will Mitansh tell? I can't do anything. I purchased from you with credit so that I can resell this and give you the money. I don't have money. If you want, take the goods back. I can't do anything. I don't have money. So Sanjeev didn't know what to do. So what Sanjeev did, he goes to the bank. Let's say his bank is ICICI Bank, and he tells them, bank, I need a help from you. In 3 months, Mitansh will pay me 30,000 rupees. Correct? I will ask Mitansh to directly pay to the bank how much? 30,000. And I will tell the bank, in 3 months, Mitansh will pay you 30,000. Now you give me 29. You give me some money. How much more you can give, you give. Bank is saying, okay, fine. I will give you now 29,500. And I will get from Mitansh later how much? 30,000. So Sanjeev is also happy. He got money, urgent need of money. Mitansh is anyway happy. He got 3 months credit. Instead of paying to Sanjeev, he is going to pay to ICICI Bank. Bank is also happy. What is bank's main business? To give loans. Bank's main business to give loan. This is indirectly a loan given now. 29,500. I will collect back 30,000. Are you following? This is called bill discounting. Is everybody clear with this? Clear, guys? So in bill discounting, what ICICI Bank will do? We are not bothered about what entry ICICI Bank will pass. Not in our syllabus. It was in CA inter syllabus. So that is also removed. We had a chapter called banking accounts for 15 marks, NBFC 10. Both are removed. So what entry bank will pass, you will not learn in CA course. After qualification, you can learn, or articleship. I am bothered only about what Sanjeev will pass. Sanjeev received how much? Bank account debit 29,500. He gave the bill that he had. 2 bills receivable 30,000. The difference is 500. It's actually interest, but in Banking Act they call this as discounting. So it's called discounting charges. Basically interest, but you should not use the word interest. If you use interest, you will lose marks. Are you following, guys? Similarly, in this sum, a 10,200 rupees bill is discounted for 10,000. So interest is 200. So my entry will be bank account debit 10,000, discounting charge 200, 2 bills receivable 10,200. Are you following, guys? These are basic sums. Is this going to come in exam? Chanceless. Okay. Now I will be quick. I'll just randomly do a few sums. Accommodation bill is sum number 9. Starts at 10, 11, 12. Only 3 sums. Okay, 9, 10, 11, 12. 9 only, no, correct? First sum 9. We will do those 4 sums. That's my area of interest. Before that, I will just do a few sums for you to revise. Okay. For those who we have a few of you studying first time, for benefit of you guys. Okay. Let's do illustration 2. Quick revision for you. Vijay sold goods to Preetham for how much? 1,06,000. Who is the seller? Vijay. Who is the buyer? Preetham. For Vijay, it is the bills receivable. For Preetham, it is bills payable. First, establish that fact when you read a question. Who is the seller? Who is the buyer? For whom it's bills receivable? For whom it's bills payable? Easy to be done in these kind of questions. Accommodation bill, that itself is difficult. For whom bills receivable? Whom bills payable? Preetham immediately accepted a 3 months bill. Fine. On due date, Preetham said, hey, I can't pay. I want to renew the bill for a fresh period of 2 months. So originally agreed 3 months plus additionally 2 months. That's it. 3 plus 2. Vijay agreed provided 9% interest was paid immediately in cash. To this Preetham agreed. Second bill was paid on due date. Like a story, guys. What happened? First bill is issued for 3 months. Then the party is unable to pay. Again renewed for 2 months. But before renewal, interest for 3 months is, the extra 2 months interest is paid now. Finally, it is settled after 2 months. So what is the first entry for issuing bill? First is sales. Here they are not even issued bill, only sales, sold goods. So entry for sales. Preetham to sales, which is my debtors to sales. Are you following, guys? Clear? 1,06,000. For this I got a bill. Bills receivable to Preetham. 1,06,000 to 1,06,000. Are you following? Now after 3 months, what is happening? Bill is renewed. So whenever bill is renewed, another important point, old bill has to be cancelled. You have to issue a new bill. As simple as that. Cancel the old bill, issue the new bill. Because when I issue the bill had a validity of 3 months. You again have to issue. Imagine me giving you a check. A check has to be deposited within 3 months. If I don't deposit in 3 months, Both the parties agreed. Can I extend for the 3 months? Yes, but bank won't agree. Bank will tell, give me a new check. You were supposed to write exam in December. You didn't write. Can you tell institute? I didn't write. I will write again in next June with same exam fee. Will they allow? You have to pay again. Same way, when a bill has a validity, validity over means cancel that, issue a new bill. So old bill is just like that reversed. Bills receivable to Preetham, Preetham to bills receivable. Immediately I am issuing a new bill. But before that, we will pass entry in a different way. What is the amount of interest? 1,06,000 into 9 by 100 for how many months? 2 months, because renewed for 2 months, into 2 by 12. How much are you getting? 1590. Compute, you will get that. Same thing is there in the answer. Now, interest entry will be, who is going to pay interest to whom here? Preetham is going to pay Vijay. So, if I am Vijay, for me interest is receivable. For me interest is what, guys? Receivable. From whom? Preetham. So, normally if I am getting interest, I will write cash account debit to interest. Correct? Here I am not getting cash. First I am writing Preetham account debit to interest. Later will be cash account to Preetham. Are you following? So, very simple. Preetham to interest, how much? 1590. Cash account to Preetham, 1590. Also, I am issuing new bill. So, bills receivable to Preetham, 1,06,000. They have passed the combined entry. Instead of passing combined entry, if you are not getting clarity over there, you can split the entry into two. Cash paid, cash to Preetham 1590. New bill issued, bills receivable to Preetham 1,06,000. Add both. How much are you getting? 1,07,590. Are you following, guys? This is the entry for interest received. This is the entry for new bill. Are you following, Shahana? Understanding? 100%. I am only looking. Who are studying first time bills? 1, 2, 3. Are you guys understanding? Sure. Dilly Babu, sure. 100%. Tell really. Sanjeev, no. Sanjay, yes, no. Behind. 100% following. Clear? Okay. So, that is what is happening in this sum. And finally, making payment, cash account to bills receivable. If you want me to repeat something, please let me know, because this is the basics. Before this, when you studied bills? Yesterday, how many of you studied last month or before that? Long time. Everybody long time. So, I am revising. If you have doubts, please ask, guys. This is not the usual speed. Okay. Are you able to recollect? Okay. Fine. Second sum is over. Same entries they are asking in the books of Preetham. Their bills receivable, here it is. Bills payable. So, purchase account debit to Vijay, 1,06,000. Vijay to bills payable, 1,06,000. Again, reverse that. Bills payable to Vijay. Their receivable, here, payable. Are you following, guys? Their interest is receivable. Here, interest is payable. So, I am debiting interest account debit to Vijay, 1590. Then, my next entry will be Vijay to cash, 1590. Again Vijay to bills payable, issuing new bill, accepting new bill, 1,06,000. Total is 1,07,590. Finally paid. Whatever is there, opposite we will get over here. Clear, guys? Following. Next, illustration 3. On 1st Jan, Ankita sells goods for 5. Now, this is somewhere I want you guys to participate and do it, just to gain control on basics of bills. Ankita sells goods to Bhavika for 5 lakhs. Who is the seller? Buyer. For whom bills receivable? Ankita. Bills payable for Bhavika. And draws a bill for 3 months. Bhavika accepts it and returns it to Ankita. Now, are you understanding? Accepts means bills payable. Returns means coming back to the person who issued the bill. Are you following, guys? On 1st March, Bhavika retires her acceptance under rebate of 12% per annum. What do you mean by this? I took a house loan. House loan is 1 crore, or let's say 2 crores. I am buying a house. Generally, house loan is paid over 20 plus years, correct? Monthly, I will be paying EMI. It's even sometimes longer than 20 crores. Suddenly, I won a lottery. So, I got 5 crores. Will you still keep paying the loan? You will settle it at once, correct? Are you following, guys? We will settle at once. Or let's take another simple example. Today, I am taking a loan of 2 lakhs. I am taking a loan of how much, guys? 2 lakhs. Interest is 10% per annum. What is the interest? 20,000. So I have to repay 2 lakh 20. Only if I repay after 12 months. If I repay in 1 month itself, how much I will pay? 20,000 divided by 12, how much? 1 month interest is how much, guys? 2 lakhs into 10 by 100 into 1 by 12. Quickly. 16667 plus 2 lakhs, correct? So totally I will repay how much? 2 lakh 1667, correct, guys? So if you repay earlier, should I pay 2 lakh 20? No. If you repay a loan earlier, you will pay less money than initially planned, correct? Same way in this question, bill is for 5 lakhs, but period is 3 months, but I am paying earlier. Paying earlier means, when is the bill made? 1st Jan, correct? Bill is made on 1st Jan, sells goods for 5 lakhs to Bhavika and draws a bill for 3 months. So when will 3 months end? 1st Feb, 1st March, 1st April, correct? Plus 3 days of grace, everybody knows that. So 4th April, okay? So 5 lakhs will be payable over these 3 months time. But on 1st March itself, Bhavika retires her acceptance, correct? That means how many months over? 2 months. How many months left? So 1 month in advance, she is making the full payment. Should I give her a discount? Yes. Because I am getting the money much in advance. How much in advance? 1 month. So 5 lakhs is the value of bill. What is the rate of interest? Into 12 by 100 into 1 by 12. How much? 5,000 is discounted. So I will pay only 4 lakh 95. I will receive only 4 lakh 95. Now look at this. Over here, we are passing entries in the books of Ankita and Bhavika. For Ankita, first sales, debtor to sales. Next, converting to bills, bills receivable to debtor. Later, when I am getting the payment, I am getting only 4 lakh 95. 2 bills receivable, 5 lakhs. Difference is how much? 5,000. Here, the important thing is you cannot use the word as discount. You have to use what? Rebate on bills discount. Rebate is basically a term they use in bank again, Banking Regulation Act. They will use rebate on bills discounted. There is a logic as to why it's called rebate, not the time for now. With exam hardly a month away, I don't want to spend 15 minutes telling you logic, why banking regulation. We are not focusing on that. Clear, guys? We use what? Rebate on bills discounted. Everybody able to understand? Clear? Same thing in her books. Bhavika, bills payable. First she purchased goods, purchased to Ankita 5 lakhs, convert that purchase to bills payable. So she is writing creditor basically to bills payable 5 lakhs. She is settling earlier. So bills payable to 4 lakh 95 is the bank. Income for her is rebate income 5,000. Are you following, guys? Clear? Deliver understanding? Yes. No, you cannot write rebate. For 1% rebate on bills discounted is like an loss. This loss. Here it is an income. For loss, we use the term rebate on bills discounted. The term rebate is more popularly used when you export goods, get exemption in tax, all of that. Okay. Clear, guys? Illustration 3 done. 4 we'll come back to it later. It's a different type of sum, pretty easy. Okay. We'll do that later. We will do it today, but it's not in the order. 4 should be basically illustration 8 or something. So we'll come in order. Okay. 5. Now 5 I will be skipping, but quickly let me run through. 1st Jan, Vilas drew a bill for 10,000 payable after 3 months. Eknath accepts his bill of exchange. On 4th March, Eknath retires the bill at a discount of 12%. Simple. Issuing new bill, then there is going to be an retirement along with discount. Fairly like just like previous sum, issuing, they're asking in the books of Eknath. So for him it is bills payable because Vilas draws a bill due for payment on Eknath. So for him, Vilas to bills payable 10,000. He is paying in advance. He is paying how much in advance? 1 month in advance when you compute. So bills payable to bank to interest discount. You get this. Are you following, guys? Clear? This is same as previous sum. Nothing great. Illustration 5 is done. Clear? Everybody following, guys? Okay. This also is the same sum, Vilas and Eknath, but in the books of Vilas, we will save time. Proceed to insolvency. There are 2 sums, 7, 8 insolvency and straight away to accommodation. Insolvency is important because accommodation includes insolvency. Okay. Now everybody should be knowing what is insolvency, especially after Contract Act, and so many times you would have seen insolvency in Partnership Act here and there. Insolvency is a case where liability is more than assets. Money is not enough to pay, then you don't have to pay. If I took a loan of 100 crores, if I become insolvent, I don't have money to pay, I don't have to pay this. That's it. I can move on. But you can't take new loan, you can't buy goods. There will be a lot of restrictions. You can't travel abroad. So many restrictions. Insolvent person cannot enter into a contract. That means nothing you can do. You can't even buy chips, 10 rupees chips. It's a contract. Buying Lays chips is a contract. Sir, how will the shopkeeper know? If he knows, you can't buy. Okay. Clear? And generally when somebody becomes insolvent, it's publicly announced. All of that will happen. So don't plan to become insolvent. Okay. Now, so insolvency is a case where there is a liability, but I am not able to pay this liability. So liability is waived. Are you following, guys? Everybody clear with this? Just another 5-10 minutes. Once insolvency gets over, straight into accommodation bills where we'll spend time. Now, last one, David. So this reminds me of Dravid. Let's change it. Okay. We'll go to this question. Both are similar, guys. Nothing great. Rahul Dravid, only guy, 2 times he lost. Okay, in finals. Leave it. Okay. Rita owned 1 lakh to Siriman. Okay. Rita owed. So she has to pay to Siriman. So for Siriman, it will, and Rita accepted a bill drawn by Siriman. Siriman, Simran, whatever you want to call. Okay. Now, for whom it's bills payable? Rita, it's bills payable because she has to pay. Siriman, it is bills receivable. Are you following, guys? Okay. Accepted a bill drawn by Siriman for the amount at 3 months. Okay. Siriman got the bill discounted with his bank for 99,000. And on 3rd October, before the due date, Rita approached Siriman for renewal of the bill. Siriman agreed on the conditions that 50,000 should be paid immediately along with 12% interest for 3 months. Then they accepted a new bill for 3 months. The arrangements were carried out, but afterwards Rita became insolvent. Perfect sum. where you have bills issued, bill discounted, bill renewed, and bill becoming insolvent at the end. So whatever we studied now, everything is there in this. So this sum, yeah, of course it can be asked for a 4 or 5 mark question. Okay. Whenever a sum comes with a big paragraph, first you create it into a story. Okay, you create it into a story. This sum is easy, but this is the base for next accommodation bills. Whenever a sum in bills comes, make a story out of it. Whatever is there in sequence, time order. You need to make a story, guys. First, you will write down Rita. For her it is bills payable. For Sriman it is bills receivable. Is this clear for everybody? Okay. Now before we proceed, I will give you all 30 seconds time. Read and understand this question. This you are going to solve, not me. You guys are going to solve this. Practice in the class itself. Read the question, understand. Those who are watching live recording also can solve it, guys. Those who are watching online live recording, everybody will be solving this. It's not a session for me to solve all sums. You will come look at my face, go home and again blink at the book. Just read, understand what's happening. When I build the story, you should be able to connect with the story. Done, guys. Okay. So Rita owed on which day? 1st of October. Then Rita accepted a bill and they are asking entries in the books of Sriman. Okay. Rita accepted a bill by Sriman for the amount at the 3 months. So 3 months means October, November, December. So 31st December, what is the amount? 1 lakh of bill has been accepted. Yeah, okay. Including grace period. October, November, December, 4th Jan. Okay, 31st December plus 3 days of grace. That's what you're trying to say? No? For, yeah, correct. 1st October. This will go on to 1st Jan plus 3 days. Bill ends on 4th Jan. Doesn't matter. We are not going till the end. Before itself, it gets closed. Fine. Sriman got the bill discounted with his bank for 99,000 on 3rd October. The minute Sriman issued the bill on 1st October, immediately on 3rd October, he discounted the bill with the bank. Now, so far we don't have a question where they ask us to find discounting charges, giving interest rate. They give the interest discounting rate in question. Discounting for 99,000. Bill is for 1 lakh. Now, imagine they give discounting rate. How will you compute? How will you compute? Okay, imagine in this question, they have not given 99,000. Okay, just for the time being, it has come in the exam. If 99,000 is not given, and if they say interest is 10%, assume period is 3 months, round off to 3 months, and they say interest is inclusive. If they use the word something like inclusive, you cannot do 1 lakh into 10% into 3 by 12. How much are you getting? 2,500 is not correct. If they say the interest should be such an amount which is inclusive of this, on which interest is payable, then you have to use a reverse working. What he's trying to say, in that case, X is my principal plus Y is my interest. You will get 1 lakh, which is bill, and he's saying the interest should be computed on X and not 1 lakh. If the question is framed like this, this question is not like that. Are you following? They have not asked. Very rarely they will ask. If they ask, what I'm saying, normally what you are all doing, 1 lakh into 10% into 3 by 12, you are getting 2,500. He's saying compute interest on this, which is X plus interest should be 1 lakh. How to do that? Or in other words, if it's 2,500, this will be 97,500 into 10% into 3 by 12 will not be 25. Correct? It will not be 25. So how to do in that case? How to do it, guys? X plus Y is going to be 1 lakh. What is Y? Y is equal to X into 10% into 3 by 12. Correct? Then you have to solve like an equation. X plus X into 10 by 100 into 3 by 12 is equal to 1 lakh and solve for X. In other words, I don't want to do all this. Shortcut is very simple. 1 lakh into 10 by 110 into 3 by 12. That's it. In other words, if 100 is principal, 10 is my interest, 110 is my 1 lakh. So what is my interest? Then you will don't do all this simultaneous equation and waste time in exam. Straight away you can do 1 lakh into 10 by 100 into 3 by 12. How much are you getting? 2,272. 73. So now if I write down 1 lakh is my bill, 2273 is my interest. So what is my principal? 199, 97, 627, 727. Okay. Now for those who are not understanding till here, now you will understand. 797, 727 into 10 by 100 into 3 by 12 will be this. Are you following now, guys? Are you understanding what I am telling? Clear? So far they have not tested like this. Very rarely in some RTP, MTP they will give it like that. If it comes, I don't want you to panic. Sir, what is the derivation, sir? What is the logic for into 10 by 100, 10 by 110, 3 by 12? Go see inventory chapter. Inventory, you would have learned that. I am not spending time on logic. If it comes inclusive, divide by into 10 by 110. Sir, what if interest rate is 12%? Then 12 by 112. Are you following, guys? Clear? If interest rate is 14%, then it will be 1 lakh into 14 by 114 into 3 by 12. Logic is very simple, like this. If my principal is 100, interest is 14, then total is 114. If 114 is this, what is my interest into 14 by 114? Are you following, guys? How many of you understanding? Can I repeat? Anybody, sir, repeat again this part alone? Yes, okay. Look at this. 100 is something X. 5 is Y. 105 is 300. What is 5? If 100 is question mark, if 5 is question mark, if 105 is 300, what is 5? How to find? cross multiplication. So 300 into 5 divided by 105. 300 into 5 divided by 105. How much are you getting? Compute 300 into 5 divided by 14.28. So this will become 285.78. Correct? 72, sorry. 72. So this plus this will lead to 300. Like this in this question, if 100 is principal, if 5 is interest, total interest plus principal is 105. Here 300 is nothing but 1 lakh. So if this amount is inclusive of interest, how to find that principal? Are you following? Got it? No? Yes? No? Okay. Now come back to our question. We deviated a lot. Come back to question. In this question, all that headache is not that, because he gave discount as 99. I mean discount charges is 1000. You get money of how much? 99,000. Before the due date, so first let's pass entry still here. Entry still here. What is the first entry? Rita owed 1 lakh to Sriman and she accepted a bill. Here directly I have to write bills receivable to Rita. Don't write sale entry again, because already question is establishing what? Somebody owes someone money. There is no need of a sale. So for that she is giving a bill, Sriman. So bills receivable to Rita 1 lakh. Are you following? And immediately Sriman discounted this with the bank. So bank account debit 99,000, discount account debit 1000, 2 bills receivable 1 lakh. Is this clear? They didn't write any. You are supposed to write the dates. They didn't write dates, now they will not get full marks. Okay. We have to write, if dates are given, write the dates. Okay. So till here we have completed the entry. Correct? 2 entries. Issued bill, discounted bill. Next, what is happening? Before the due date, Rita approached Sriman for renewal of the bill. The minute renewal comes, what you have to do? Cancel the old bill. So I will cancel the old bill. Now, this I will cancel it. But here I will tell you how the cancellation works. We will come to that. Normally the cancellation will be Rita to bills receivable. Here it's not like that. I will explain that. Once it's cancelled, Sriman agreed on the conditions that 50k will be paid immediately together with interest and the balance at 12% interest. Now look at this. What is happening over here? Bank now follow guys. 3 months sold goods or whatever, I have to receive how much? 1 lakh. Bills receivable, bills payable. Now look at this. When I discount it with the bank, for bank it becomes bills receivable. For me it is nothing. Nothing. I am being left out of the transaction. I am done. Yes, yes. So what will happen now is Rita will pay to bank how much? 1 lakh. Isn't this the transaction? Everybody clear guys? Rita will pay to bank how much? 1 lakh. Now I want you guys to try this entry without looking at the answer. This part, I'll just underline that. I want you to try this part of the entry. The first 2 is done. I want you guys to try before the due date. I'll highlight in yellow. Before the due date, Rita approached Sriman for renewal of the bill. Sriman agreed on the conditions 50,000 to be paid now and balance should be paid immediately together with interest at 12% for 3 months, and for the balance, Rita should accept a new bill for 3 months. This part, whatever I shaded in yellow, can you try the entry guys? The first 2 is already here. The first 2 entries are already here. You can see that. I just want you to try the entry for whatever is shaded in yellow. Let's see if you're able to get that correctly. Okay. That's it. This part I want you to try it. Try the entries, guys. How many are entries? Try it by yourself. Don't look at the answer and tell yourself, yes, I know this. Try this out. Finished. Is the AC fine for you? Should I turn this on? It's okay. Okay, done trying, guys. This much time is enough. Now look at this. Now what is happening over here? Unique transaction. Sriman is left out of the transaction. Sriman is done. Sriman will leave after this. Because Sriman has instructed Rita to make the payment to the bank. By discounting the bill to the bank, Rita has to pay to the bank. On due date, if Rita made the payment, sum would have come to an end. Transaction over. Rita will pay the bank how much? 1 lakh, chapter close. But here, Rita is coming back to whom? Rita is coming back to Sriman and telling, hey, I can't make the payment. I need more time. So when they're asking Sriman more time, will bank give more time? No. So once 3 months gets over, first Sriman should make the payment to the bank, because bank will tell, see, you asked me to collect from Rita, she is not paying, therefore you pay now. So Sriman will pay to the bank. To bank, how much? 1 lakh. But Sriman should get this money from whom? Rita. So for me, entry will be Rita account debit to bank 1 lakh is the entry when the bill is retired. Are you following, guys? See, normally the entry is what? Rita to bills receivable is the normal entry for retirement. Reversal, correct? Here, Rita to bank, because I have to pay the bank now. Bank will not wait more than 3 months. That's why you are passing the entry. Rita to bank. Are you following? Along with this, Rita should also give me interest for how long, guys? How many months? 3 months. For how much? 50,000. Why only 50,000? Because 50,000 is paid now. So interest is only for what is not paid. So 50,000 into 12 by 100 into 3 by 12. How much does it come to? 1,500. So this I will receive it from Rita. Entry is Rita to interest. For me, receivable. So I am crediting 1,500. So now I have to receive from Rita totally 1 lakh and 1,500. I will receive 1 lakh 1,500. How is this received first? It's received in 2 ways. First, she paid cash, half the money along with interest. Bank account to Rita, how much? 51,500. For the other half, she gave a new bill, bills receivable to Rita 50,000. Later, till here is what we have it for, where it's shaded. Are you following, guys? After this, what is happening? These arrangements were carried out. That's what we did now. But afterwards, Rita became insolvent. Only 40% could be paid. So once you become insolvent, again bill should be reversed. What is it? Rita 2, bills receivable, how much? 50,000. Correct? Are you following, guys? Not understanding? Sure, 100%. Later they are paying only 40,000. So 50,000 into 40%, bank account debit 20,000, bad debts 30,000 to Rita 50,000. Sum is over. Proper 6 mark sum. Have you all genuinely understood? Clear? How many of you not understanding any part? Take a minute, go through, because after this I am going to get into accommodation bills. All of us are here, whether you are watching online live recording or here, you are watching this class, you come here mainly for accommodation bills. I have also kept this session purely mainly for accommodation bills, because for everybody who attended the class till illustration 8, nothing difficult you would have understood. Wherever you attended, whatever you saw, I am sure till illustration 8 is not a big deal. So I want you guys to go through illustration 8 once for the next 30 seconds, 1 minute, and see if you have any doubt and ask me before I get into the main core topic of accommodation bills, where we will spend significant amount of time. So go through, guys. Just go to illustration 8. Even go through illustration 7 once. At your end, please go through 7. We skipped it, but it's a simple sum. Simple, straightforward sum, guys. Go through both 7 and 8. Revise in the class while you are watching now itself. Any doubts, please ask. I'll give you all a minute or two. Okay. Illustration 7 and 8, please go through, guys. Quick one revision. Again, you don't have to study. Finish off now. 8 we went through. 7 is simple. Go through, deliver, finish. 7, 8. 7 going through. Let me just quickly run through 7 for satisfaction of everybody in few minutes. David drew 2 bills, 6,000 and 10,000. For David, it's bills receivable. The bills of exchange for 6,000 is for 2 months, while the 10,000 is for 3 months. Now there will be 2 stories. 6,000 one separate story, 10,000 one separate story. These bills are accepted by Mr. Thomas. On 4th March, Thomas requests David to renew the first bill with 18% interest for a period of 2 months. You know what will happen. Renewal of bill means old bill should be cancelled, issue new bill along with interest. Look at what's happening. Issued 2 bills, 10, 6, 16. Usually we club both the bills into one entry, but here I am keeping it separately mainly because both bills have a different ending over here. That bill is reverse now. Thomas to bills receivable because he's renewing, issuing a new bill along with the interest. Previous sums they told interest has to be paid immediately. Here interest is not paid, so added to what to say, price of bill. Then David agrees for this. Thomas retires the acceptance for 10,000, the interest rebate being discount of 100. So he's paying earlier, so I'm getting bank account debit 9,900, discount is 100, 2 bills receivable 10,000. Are you following, guys? So at this point 10,000 worth of bill is settled, 6,001 only is renewed for 6180. After this, before the due date of renewed bill, Thomas became insolvent and only half can be paid. Currently out of 16,000, 10,000 already paid, balance 6,000, add interest of 180, 6180. In this 6180 only half is being paid, so the other half is taken as bad debts. Simple, straightforward sum. Clear? See, I'm going in crash speed, super fast speed, guys, presuming everybody knows this. Clear? Sahana able to follow? So till illustration 8 we don't have a problem. Now we'll go to accommodation bill. Accommodation bill also is not difficult for most of you. You might have doubts about a few computations here and there. Illustration 9 we will do later. Let's do illustration 10 first. We'll do 10, go for a short break, come back to 9, 11, 12 and close accommodation bills. Here I'll slow down a little bit. I don't want to go in the same speed as how we did the first 8 sums except 4. Clear? Can we proceed, guys? Okay. Fine. Yeah. We'll proceed. Can we proceed, guys? Hello. Do you want small distraction? Hello. No distraction. Yes. What were you guys doing on Sunday match time? So don't remind us. Yeah, saw the match and then Mitansh expected. Yes. Who all didn't expect? Most of us didn't expect. What you did yesterday? Studied. No, nothing else. No effect. No mental health affected. Nothing. Okay. I was very sad. I finished, match got over, I slept. Then yesterday I decided to take a leave, 100%. So I took leave. Then I woke up. I was very, very sad. So I ordered one big biryani, ate it, again slept. Then again woke up in the night, again ate some junk food, stress ate fully. I think I ate for 4,000 rupees just Sunday and Monday together. On Zomato, I just kept ordering. On Sunday night, I was so stressed, I ordered 3 ice creams. Fully I ate and then I went and slept. Okay. Not good, yes, not good. But stress ate so much. And then I was seeing full social media was about match. Then I said, okay, let's not use the phone itself. Yesterday was a very bad day. Today, much better. After coming to class, it's fine. Okay. So I decided to stop watching cricket for a few years. Until I'm not going to watch that Thursday series, no waste, useless series. Okay. Especially 2019 was bad. This is much worse. So leave it. Yeah, come back. Distraction over, guys. Okay. Only one lesson from that. If you want to connect to subject, how many of you felt bad? India lost, felt bad, still feeling bad. No, still not over. That's it. Move on one day. Okay, very good. Bala, we should learn from you how to move on in one day. Okay. Okay. But if you're still feeling bad, you studied. Semester exam after that. Very good. Okay. But that is for the country of feeling bad. Imagine if your results doesn't go that way, the feeling will be 10x, guys. You should not be there. So if you don't want to be there, motivate yourself. Next, how many days? 40 days. Okay. Fine. Come back, and thankfully we don't have any distraction till exams. Unlike inter students, exam was going on. Like next day exam, they had Diwali during exams and World Cup semi-finals during exams and all this. Inter students, you have nothing till 31st December. No big movie is coming. No big New Year. Okay, fine. Leave it, guys. Except that nothing else is there, guys. I don't think any big movie. Nothing. After exams, so you can focus on that. Now come back. Small distraction over. Come back to accommodation bills. Fine. How many of you studying accommodation bills for the first time? First time. How many of you studied, did not understand, so I left it for exam? Skipped accommodation bills partially. Fine. You decide in the next 40 minutes if you want to continue to skip this or read this. Okay. First sum, what I will do, I don't want you guys to do much. I will teach the concept, teach the sum, run through the solution. We will take about 40 to 45 minutes. Okay. Then you go for a break, come back, we'll decide after that. But we are all here today mainly for this concept. Okay. What is accommodation bills? Let's go back to, let's say, 1970s when bills were used. Today nobody uses bills receivable or bills payable. Nobody uses it. Today, only 1970s, 1980s, it was when actively used. Today, if I want a loan, there are many ways to get a loan. Go to the bank, get unsecured loan, or there are many mobile apps. There are so many apps today. Download this app called DigiMoney, or there is some Crazy Bee, or there are so many apps where all you have to do is take a selfie, put your Aadhaar card, put PAN card, you will get loan of up to 10,000 or 20,000 immediately. I'm a student, it's okay. Today credit is available left, right, center. But 1970s, not everybody had money, or you can't get loan from, how you are going to get loan now. So that time, what people used to do, this is as per law the transaction is void. As per law transaction is void. You will tell me why later. So today, can I do this? No, it's void. But we are only going to focus on the accounting aspect for this. Let's take two parties. Let's take a new example. Let's say we have, we'll take, yes, behind Bala, Sandeep, and next to Sandeep, Mubin. Mubin, okay. Sandeep and Mubin are there. Both of them are close friends. Okay. Both of them are close friends. They both wanted 50,000 rupees urgently, together, jointly. In accommodation bills, everything happens together. Assume that both parties are like husband wife. Okay. When I can think of accommodation bills, whatever they are doing, they are going to share it equally, unless question gives some other mode for sharing. Okay. So for this example, Sandeep and Mubin are very close. Okay. Close best friends. They wanted to borrow 50,000 rupees. So they went to so many banks. Banks were not giving them the money. So what Sandeep told, okay, I have an idea. I will raise a bill on you. You accept. So for me it is a bills receivable. For you it is a bills payable. For how much? 50,000. Is there any sale taking place? No. So without sale, Mubin accepted a bill. So it is consideration. I mean, there is no consideration for the contract. This is the contract. There is no consideration. Correct? In contract act we studied. A contract without consideration is void. That's why accommodation bills is void. Because normally a sale happens, then followed by bill. So bill is the consideration for that sale for both parties. Here, since there is no consideration, accommodation bill is void. But the bank won't know this. Bank will think sale actually took place. So what will happen? Look at this carefully. Sandeep only has the bill. Sandeep will go to the bank, ICICI bank, and give this bill of 50,000. How much money he will get? Let's say 49,000. Discount charges is 1,000. Sandeep comes home with 49,000. Is Mubin happy? Yes. Both of them planned together. So whatever income or loss they are getting, they have to share it equally unless question gives some other ratio. So the minute Sandeep gets this 49,000, he has to give half to Mubin and he will keep half. That was the idea. So what is half of 49,000? 24,000 Sandeep will keep, another 24,000 will be given to Mubin. I told you gains or losses, everything should be equally shared. What is the loss here? 1,000. Discounting charge, that also we have to share 500 and 500. So here it will become 25,000. Here also it becomes 25,000. Is this clear, guys? So here Sandeep and Mubin are accommodating the financial needs of each other with the help and support of each other through a bill. So it's called an accommodation bill, accommodating the finance needs. Is that clear? That's how the name is derived. Here I'm going to go slowly, not like how the first 8 sums went. Now, after 2 months, 3 months, whatever is the due date, let's say 3 months, Mubin has to pay to ICICI Bank. Why Mubin has to pay? Because bill is in the name of Mubin. Now, Sandeep took this money and ran away. Who has to pay? Mubin only. He can't do anything else. He has to pay. Or if I ask Sandeep, bank will ask Sandeep if Mubin doesn't pay. If Mubin doesn't pay, Sandeep will pay. But here nobody is planning to run away. Both are together. If they run, they'll run together only. None of the questions discuss about parties running away, so we don't have to discuss about it. Now Mubin has to make the payment to ICICI Bank. How much should he pay? How much? 50,000. Now look at the story so far, guys. First Sandeep, if you look at the story so far, first Sandeep issued a bill on Mubin. So one party it's bills receivable, one party it is bills payable. Second, Sandeep did discounting with the bank. He did what, guys? Discounting. For discounting, will Mubin pass any entry? No entry. Only who will pass the entry? Sandeep will pass the entry. Once Sandeep gets the money, what is the third thing? Half will be given to Mubin. This is the sequence for one accommodation bill. Let me repeat. Once bill is issued, first entry is for issuing of the bill. Second entry is discounting in the books of Sandeep, whoever issued the bill. Here there is no question of seller and buyer. Whoever issued the bill on in his books discounting, other party, no entry. If I am discounting, why entry in your book? Nothing. Once I get the money, I will get the money and half will be given to Mubin. That half includes both amount plus discount will be shared. This is stage 1. If sum ends like this, not an issue. Next to what is happening, Mubin should pay to ICICI Bank how much? 50,000. Is he having money? No. Sir, he's having this 25,000. No, sir. They spent it. Both of them spent it. How much Mubin has with him now? 0. Not even 1 rupee. Now he has to pay to ICICI Bank. He doesn't know what to do. Sandeep told, don't worry. Now you issue a new bill on me. So what they are doing? Now Mubin is issuing a new bill on Sandeep. This time for 70,000. Are you following, guys? Clear? For 70,000, which who is accepting? Sandeep is accepting this bill. So for the first bill, Sandeep was bills receivable, Mubin was bills. For the second bill of 70,000, Mubin becomes bills receivable, Sandeep becomes bills payable. Are you following? Now again for second bill, same sequence. What is the same sequence? If you see, okay, second entry, Mubin is getting now from bank how much? 7,000. He will discount again with the same ICICI Bank. Let's say ICICI Bank is retaining 2,000 rupees and paying him 68,000. With this money, he will pay the whole loan of 50 and the balance will be shared between Sandeep and Mubin in half of. Are you following, guys? So basically, they will keep issuing bill on bill. Every bill the money received should be shared between the parties. Now what is important here, when Mubin is going to repay 50,000, Sandeep should share how much? Half. How much? 25. Correct? Are you following, guys? Keep this background in the mind. This is only to understand what is accommodation bill. Is this clear for everybody, guys? Okay. Now let's get into our sum. Properly, let's get into the sum. Understand in detail. Did you all understand what is the accommodation bill? So when all should these parties share? Let's discuss once. When all should they share? First, when they receive the money from bank, both should share. The discounting charges, both should share. Again, when you are repaying to bank, both should share. When I again issue a new bill, second bill, that time also money received, both should share. When you are repaying the second bill, again both should share. Everything in the bill has to be shared equally if question is silent. Otherwise, they will share in the ratio given in the question. Let's go to question number 10. 10 or 11, which one will do? Both are same. 10, okay. If I remember both 10, 11, 12, all three are same. If you understand 10, 11, 12, we will do today. You will do it, okay. For the mutual accommodation, question uses the word for the mutual accommodation of X and Y on 1st April, X drew a bill for 4 months on Y for how much, guys? 4,000 rupees. Is this clear till here? We will go step by step. I will first read the whole paragraph. Then we will go step by step past the entries. I will explain, you will observe, understand every entry. And then you will solve illustration 11 by yourself. Clear? 11 or 12, whatever. So I drew a bill for 4,000. Why return the bill after acceptance on the same date? Okay, let's diagrammatically put whatever is given. X drew a bill on Y for 4,000. For X it's bills receivable, for Y it is bills payable. That's all is given so far. X discounts the bill from his bankers at 6% per annum and remits 50% to Y. So here when they say is discounting at 6%, don't do reverse working. Straightforward 6%. Only if they use the word inclusive, all that will come. So what is the amount of interest, guys? How much? So he is discounting with the bank for how much? 6% interest. So 4,000 into 6, 6 by 100 into how many months? For how many months? Where is it given? 4. Yeah, 4 months. So into 4 by 12. How much? 80. So he will receive 3920. So X has to give half to Y. He will give 40 to Y and 3920 divided by half. 1960. Totally 2000. Here also totally. We are sharing the money and the discounting charges. Entries, I will come to it. I want you to understand the story, guys. First understand story. If story is clear, entries are simple. What is the story so far? X issued a bill for 4,000 on Y. Such a bill is discounted with the bank. Usual discounting charges 80 and got 3920. Half of discount should be borne by Y. Half of this money 1960 goes to Y. I am left with 2000. Are you following? So X's share is 2000, Y's share is 2000. Perfect. Are you understanding till here, everybody? Don't worry about entries. Are you following the story? That's all I want to know. Okay. Those who are watching live recording, same. On due date, X is unable to send the amount due. Who is unable to send the amount due? X, Y. Follow very carefully. On due date, who has to pay the money to the bank? No. Who discounts the bill? X discounts, and on due date, X is unable to send the money. So who is unable to pay? X. So on due date, X only is supposed to make the payment to the bank. How much? 4,000. But he is unable to pay. X is telling Y, hey, I am not able to pay. I need help. Y is saying, don't worry. Let's repeat the process. Let's repeat it again. This time, Y drew a bill on X for how much? 7,000, accepted by X, and Y discounts for 6,600 and sends 1,300 to X. We will understand that one by one, guys. So Y is issuing a new bill for 7,000, and he is discounting that with the bank for how much? 600. 6,600. So discounting charges is 400, and then with that 6,600 he is sending 1,300 only. This is where students get confused. 1,300 is sent to X. Forget about journals, understand transaction. 1,300 is sent to X before bill is due for payment. Then later X becomes insolvent and only 25 paisa is recovered. Insolvency is last. We will leave that. Let's understand story as to what's happening here. What's the sequence of events? First, X drew a bill for 4,000. Then he discounted for 3,920. 80 shared half. On due date, X was unable to make the payment. So Y issued a new bill for 7,000. In that, discount is 400, so he got 6,600. So balance is sent to whom? X. How much? 1,300. How this 1,300 came? All those things we have to understand. Following, guys, clear till here? What is happening? Only I'm only summarized the question. I have not even gone into the journals. This is what is happening. Okay. Now, getting into the solution, we'll go step by step. Now connect the story with entries. What is the first entry? We are passing entries in the books of X. Okay. What is the first thing? X issued a bill on Y. That is how we started our story, guys. For how much? 4,000. So my entry will be bills receivable to Y account 4,000. Are you following? Y, I am crediting Y account. Y is my debtor for X. X issued a bills receivable. So debtor Y will be converted to a credit him. Are you following? Issuing of new bill, guys. Bills receivable to Y. And I am discounting with the bank account debit 3,920, discount account debit 2,000, two bills receivable 4,000. Are you all clear with entry 1 and 2? Okay. Now, initially there is no entry for sales here. Don't write any sales here because it's a mutual accommodation. Now what is happening? 2Y 4,000, correct? Out of this, how much is actually Y share? 2,000. So I will transfer 2,000 to him. How I will transfer 2,000 to him? Forget the entry there. Tell me what entry will X pass if he is giving 2,000 rupees to Y. If you are X, you are giving 2,000 to Y. What entry will you pass? Y account debit 2,000 to cash or bank 2,000. Everybody agreed to this. I am giving 2,000 to Y, correct? However, even though I am giving 2,000 to Y, actually how much am I giving? Look at this. I have only 3920. So if I'm giving him half, I can give only 1960. So my entry will change. Y account debit to cash 1960. Correct? Now look at this entry. This entry, guys. Discounting charges. Discount account is 80. If I am debiting in my books, if I am debiting discount account 80 in my books, this will be transferred to my P&L, which is an expense for me, correct? But how much is supposed to be my expense? 40. But I debited. So I will reverse discount to the extent of 40. Who will bear that loss? Y. So I will write here 2 discount 40, Y account 2000. Are you following this entry, guys? I gave Y 1960. I gave Y his share of 40, which Y is bearing now. Why am I debiting Y? Look at this. First entry I credited Y by creating a liability for 4000, because we don't have debtors entry in this. See, normal sales will be Y account debit to sales in first poduvama as a credit sale. Here no credit sale. Directly I am crediting Y by creating a liability with bill. Out of this 4000, I have settled him how much now? 2000. Other 2000 I don't have to pay. We are sharing half of. Correct? Bills receivable is 4000. We are sharing half of. For me 2, for you 2. Correct? So have you understood? Till here, half the proceeds remitted to the other person. Have you understood till here, guys? Clear? Okay. Now only the next part. Usually when it's one bill, accommodation bill, everybody will understand. There's nothing difficulty in that. So let me again revise, guys. What is happening here? First bills receivable is issued. Bills receivable to Y 4000. Next bill is discounted. Bank account debit 3920. Discount account debit 80. Two bills receivable 4000. Half money is given to other party. What half? Half of 3920, half of 80, which is 1960 and 40. So Y account debit to cash 1960, to discount 40, and I will debit Y account for 2000 because I have settled him his share. Are you guys clear till here? Anybody has a doubt till here? Because if you are not understanding this, next part you will definitely not get it. Anybody, feel free to ask. Now we are not in crash mode, regular mode. Anyone? Everybody understood? First time studying? Sure. Now what is happening? Second bill is being issued. This is where the game gets interesting. Second bill is issued by Y. To whom? X. So I am passing entries in the books of. So I am accepting a bill. Correct? So if I am accepting a bill, for me entry will be, if I am accepting bill to bills payable, debit whom? Y limited or whatever, Y account debit 7000. Correct? This time first I issued bill, for me bills receivable. Now I am accepting bill, for me it's bills payable. So my entry is Y account debit to bills payable. How much, guys? 7000. Is this clear? This entry is also clear. Now don't look at the next entry. We will discuss it separately. Then we will go there. Okay. Y account debit to bills payable 7000. Clear? Now follow, guys. In this 7000, what was the discount? So after this bill came for 7000, Y discounted in the bank for 6600. Now I just need some facts. first bill is for how much? Share is 1940. Again here share is 196040. X, Y. Clear off. This bill was issued by X. Second bill, Y issued for 7,000 with a discount of, so they are left only with 6,600. Similarly, can you write share of X and share of Y in this? X share will be how much, guys? First I will share 400, discount 200, 200, 6,600 will be shared. Correct? Are you all following, guys? Understanding? Now come back here. Just tell me yes or no. Did X give 1960 to Y? Yes or no? Did he give his share to Y? First bill X discounted for 4,000. Did he give the half to Y? 1960. Read the question. On the due date, no, before that, yeah, X discounts the bill with bank for 6% and remits 50% proceeds to Y. We saw it here also. He is remitting 1960 to Y. That means he gave his half to Y. Correct? So same way, when Y gets for 7,000, he has to give half to X. Yes or no? Now, follow very carefully. So the first bill is a perfect bill. Both of them shared what they were supposed to share. On the date of repayment to the bank, who should repay how much? No, Y will repay full, X will repay full, you leave it. Who should repay how much? Each 2,000. Again, I am asking you on the day C. When I got the money, X and Y got 2,000 each. 4,000 came. Here 2,000. Here. So when I am repaying, I will give a simple example. Mitansh is there. We have Bala. Okay. I am the bank. I gave you both 2,000 each. When I am getting back, how much I should get? 4,000. How much will Mitansh give? 2,000. How much will Bala give? So I will get back 4,000 in the same share you got the money. Correct? Now here what is happening? When I have to pay back 4,000 to the bank, question clearly tells who is unable to pay. X is unable to send the amount. So who paid the full money to bank? Y. So Y paid to the bank 4,000. Yes or no? Yes. Because bank will not keep quiet. For paying that 4,000 only, smart fellow Y got this new bill for 7,000. Maybe different bank, we don't know. He got that 7,000, he got how much? 6,600 and he paid the bank how much? 4,000. Are you following? So, Y has to receive from X how much now? I am repeating again. Because X couldn't pay, Y paid the bank how much, guys? 4,000. So Y is waiting to get from X how much? 2,000 rupees. Is it clear, guys? I am again asking. How much should Y get from X? 2,000. Fine. Now keep this in mind. How much should Y get from X? Again I am repeating. How much should Y get from X? Again I am repeating. How much should Y get from X? Are you all clear with this? Now come back to the second transaction of second bill. How much is it? 7,000. Half of 66, 400. 200, 33. 200, 33. How much should Y give X? In this bill, how much should he give? 3,000. How much should he give? 3,300. But he should receive from X. So I will reduce the 2,000 and pay how much? 1,300. That is what is given in the question as 1,300 paid to X. Are you following, guys? Are you understanding? Even if this is not given, you should know how much you should be able to send. I will again repeat. This is the main area in accommodation bills. Look at this. Y's duty is to share half. So he wants to send 332 X, but he also remembers earlier X was not able to pay 2000, so he is adjusting the 2000 and paying only 1300 to X. Are you following? But along with this 1300, discounting he will send off, correct? That is my discounting charges, how much? 300. So now Y should give to X discount of 200 and cash of 1300. So both of them will be settled. You are supposed to give me 2000, I am giving you back only 1300 instead of 3300. Are you following, guys? So how to pass this entry? X is getting money, correct? How much is getting? 1300. I am passing entries in whose books? X books. So in X books I will pass cash account debit 1300. I am also going to bear what? Discounting charge of how much? 200. Discounting charge account debit 200 to all this who's giving me? Y. So to Y account 1500. My entry is cash account debit 1300, discount account debit 200, to Y account 1500. That should be my entry. Bank account debit 1300, discount account debit 200, to Y account 1500. Leave this stupid computation. Okay, we don't need this in any sum. We can do it just like this using logic. Are you following, guys? Clear, everybody? Okay. So now what is happening? Both of them have shared their money equally. Now end of the sum, we are yet to read the balance. After this, Y sends half and all of 1300. Till here we have passed entries now. Y sends how much? 1300 to X. Before the bill is due for payment, X becomes insolvent. X becomes insolvent. Later 25 paisa and a rupee is recovered. Now this bill, the minute you become insolvent, bill has to be reversed. So X pass the bills payable entry, Y to bills payable. The minute I become insolvent, I have to reverse that bills payable to Y. Where we saw this in previous insolvency and retirement of a bill, correct? That's why I did all of that. The minute bill is not honored, it has to be reversed. So I pass the bill entry here, Y account to bills payable. Now I am reversing bills payable to Y. Are you following, guys? But still I have to pay. Pay whom? Now because X became insolvent, still bank will recover from Y, but I have to pay how much? 25 paisa in a rupee. What is my total liability from starting? Let me start. Now you have to start seeing from the start. First I created liability for Y, how much? 4000. So let me write down here Y account. Okay, first I created liability of 4000 because the first dummy bills receivable I issued. Then I settled Y for how much? 2000. So I will again debit Y for, from the first entry, keep doing calci, plus minus for Y, minus 2000. Again Y is debited for how much? 7000. I will write here. Then again crediting Y for 1500. Then again crediting Y for 7000, correct? So how much is still due? 3000. Credit side is more than debit side. In whose account? Y account. X has to pay to Y how much? 3500. In that I am only going to pay 25 paisa. Y account debit 3500 to bank 25 paisa, 875 paid, balance is deficiency, which is nothing but insolvency. Are you following, guys? Clear? You might have a doubt, why should I pay 3,500? Look at the logic, guys. First, 4,000 was the first bill, half share 2,000. Second bill is 7,000, half share reduced and given 1,500. On the date of repayment, can you tell me how this 3,500 came? Look at this. If without doing all these breakup, can I find it easily? Yes, there is a shortcut. What is the shortcut? First bill is 4,000. What is my share? Half, 2,000. I couldn't pay that. Second bill is 7,000. My share is half, 3,500. Are you following, guys? That I have to pay, that I could not pay. First 2,000 also I could not pay. Now 3,500 also I could not pay. In 3,500 I paid only 25 paisa and a rupee. Are you following, guys? How many of you are able to understand? Yes. That is for old bill, no? Now, your doubt is 2,000 is already adjusted over here. So, I gave how much? 1,300. Now, I got a new bill for 7,000. When I have to repay this, each of us have to pay 3,500. That's 3,500. Got it now? Now what I want you guys to do is, some of you might have understood 100%, some 70, some 60. Take a minute, go through the entire question and the answer at your end. Right now you do it, or we'll do one thing. We'll go for a short break now, or we'll continue. Continue. Your wish. Continue. Okay. Majority, guys, how many of you continue? Majority. How many of you short break? Fine. We'll go with majority. Those who are watching online live, everybody here, we'll go for a 15 minutes break or something. But in that break, please go through the sum. See if you have doubts. We'll take it up post the break.
It goes out to some CS. Sorry? Yeah, I'm sure they pass. बोल ना बोल
No. How can you expect me to bring a law leader today? Not leader, leader. Leader. Shut up. What time?
I want to eat something, but there's nothing in my stomach.
Dude, give me a pen. Take coach.
But you can take suggestions from me.
This is answer.
Promise to sell some ये promise to sell the white for ये एक है idea is there. Everything is slightly. I know. Yeah, wrong. हो सकता है पॉइंट पे वो बता नहीं कैसा करें
इसको माफ ही नहीं should have got 60.
Nothing, I just read that. Is there? Can I open the door for you? It is a package. And without opening the package, how will you know the products are? And we have to keep the package.
Keep it, don't open it. Yeah, yeah, consider. Yeah. That word is what kind of electricity? What?
Okay. Yes. Doubts? Yeah, I'll come across. That's it. So illustration 10. Now what we'll do is for next 1 hour, 10 is done. I want you guys to go through 10 and start solving 11. 11 or 12, which one? Both are the same. 11, 12, we can do one of those two sums. Yeah, 11 and 12 are the same, guys. You can try any one. Now I want you guys to try 11. You're done with 10. Try 11 and then I'll go to 9. Once we do 9, accommodation bill will come to an end. Try out 11. Try to do it by yourself. I'll give you 5 minutes. Try it out. Guys, settle down. Already started doing. Start doing question number 11. Start doing 11, guys. Read exactly same as previous sum, only amount will change. You have to try it out. Try it out means don't look at the solution. Try to do it. Pass the entries. Only when you do this sum, you will make again mistakes and will master accommodation bills. At least do it till here. The first two lines, first bill, last entry. Try doing it, guys. Can I start the first two lines alone? First two lines alone, guys. Okay, look at this. I'll give you time. I'll give you time. We'll do two lines. I'll give you time. We'll do two lines. I'll give you time. Only the first shaded part is what I want to do. X draws a bill for 30,000 on 1st April for 3 months. X is drawing bill on whom? Y. Y accepts the bill and sends it to X. Who is the bills receivable? For X it is bills receivable, Y it is bills payable. Here they are asking entries in both the parties. Let's see both. Okay. First, X drew a bill on Y for 30,000. That is basic entry. What is the entry? Bills receivable, account debit to Y account. Are you following, guys? Are you understanding? Hello? So first one is bills receivable to Y. How much, guys? 30,000. Clear? Second part is where it gets interesting. Y accepts the bill and sends it to X, who gets it discounted for 28,800. So what is the entry for discounting? Bank account debit 28,800, discounting charges 1,200 to bills receivable. That is my entry number 2. Correct. Bank discounting charges to bills receivable. Are you following this, guys? Understanding? This part, generally the first two entries are simple. This is where the next thing comes. X immediately remits 9,600 to Y. So let's understand. Total bill is for, and discounting charges is how much? 1,200. So amount is 28,800. Now how much will X share? How much will Y share? X and Y only, no? Will they share? Half. Correct. Usually it is what, guys? Half. X will take 15,000, Y will take 15,000 unless the question has some other intention. Over here, X immediately remits only 9,600 to Y. So X has given to Y only 9,600. Correct? So how much is X having with himself? No, out of 20, see, he has 28,800. In that 9,600 is sent to Y. So how much he has left? 19,200. Correct? Is this equal sharing? No. That means in this question, they are not sharing that money received or discount everything equally. How are they sharing? They are sharing in the ratio 2:1. Correct? Are you following, guys? Correct? Just multiply 9,600 into 2. How much you are getting? 19,200. So now the sharing is not 1:1, it's 2:1. So entire sum will proceed in the ratio of 2:1. Again, unless some other ratio is given. They can keep changing it. That is subtly very given. What is the subtleness over here? By giving 9,600. Are you all clear with this, guys? Understood how 2:1 came? So if 28,800 is shared 2:1, how 2:1 given? 9,600 to him. So 19,200 to X. Then discount also should be shared in the ratio of 2:1. How much is that? 800, 400. Are you following? Or another way of doing, sir, I don't like ratios. Other way is 30,000, discount is 1,000 200. So 28, 800. In that, Y is taking 9,000. 9,600. What's his discount? Leave ratio. If 28,800 is 9,600, how much discount for him? Cross multiply, you will get how much? You will get 9,600 into 1,200 divided by 28,800. You are getting how much? 400. Are you following? Two ways to compute this discount. One, I am teaching you ratio method. Ratio, amount is shared 19,200 is to 9,600, so 2 is to 1. But sometimes it will come 2.4 is to 1 point something. Some decimal comes, why to confuse? Just write amount received is so much, 30,000, discount is 1,200, so balance is 28,800. In that balance, if he took 9,600, then the discount is supposed to take is 400. Are you following, guys? Is this computation clear? So, now X has to pay to Y how much? 9,600. What is the entry for giving cash to Y? Y account debit. To bank how much? 9,600. Discount also I will share with him how much? 400. So 2 discount 400. Y account will be 10,000. This will be my journal for transferring the money. Look at this. Y account debit 10,000, to bank 9,600, to discount 400. Are you following, guys? Just like previous sum. And the logic, if you see here, out of discount of 1,200, which is my expense, I am transferring 400 to the other party because that's your share. Are you following till here? Sahana, understanding? Sure. Clear, guys? So we have now finished accounting for the first accommodation bill. They have received the money, they have shared it. Clear? As usual, what is happening? On the due date, X is unable to remit the amount due. What is the amount due that X is supposed to remit? How much, guys? X is unable to remit. Now look at this. Who issued the bill? Look at this. X issued the bill to Y for 30,000 and X discounted with the bank. So on due date, who has to pay the bank? Y should pay the bank. If Y should pay the bank, Y will pay his share and X's share. So what is Y's share? 10,000. X's share? 20,000. His share he will anyway pay. I don't have to ask X. But I have to ask X how much? So X is supposed to pay to Y 20,000. That is what they are saying. X unable to remit the amount due. They have not given the amount. What is the amount? Now again keep in mind, X is supposed to pay Y how much? Did he pay? No. Again, X is supposed to pay Y how much? 20. Did he pay? No. Why he should pay? When they got the money, they shared in the ratio 2:1. So when they are repaying also, they should repay in the ratio 2:1. So able to follow this, guys? So since X is unable to pay, X unable to remit the money, what is Y doing? X is accepting a new bill. So Y is now issuing a bill on X. He is telling, okay, you are anyway not able to pay. I will draw a new bill on you for how much? 40, in which Y is the bills receivable, X it is bills. Correct? So if X is accepting a new bill for 42,000, what is the entry for accepting a bill? I am accepting a new bill. So Y account debit to bills payable, how much? 42,000. Are you all able to follow, guys? That is the next entry. Y account debit to bills payable, 42,000. Are you getting it, guys? I'll repeat again. Follow. What is happening? Whole thing is first very simple. X drew a bill on Y for 30,000. That's my first entry. Bills receivable to Y. Correct? Normal entry. Then out of the 30,000, I discounted with the bank. What is the entry for discounting? 28,800. Discount charges 1,200. Balances, I mean, add both. Bank account debit 2,800. Discounting 1,200. 2. Y is how much? Sorry, 2. Bills receivable 30,000. This entry, discounting guys. This entry was passed. First two is simple. The next entry only where accommodation comes in. I am transferring 9,600 to Y. So, why am I transferring 9,600 to Y? Look at this. First when I drew the bill, I am creating a liability for him. For how much? 30,000. Now I am settling that by giving how much? 10,000. Should I give the balance? No need, because our ratio is 2:1. I don't have to give the balance. It will anyway be adjusted if everything is paid on time. Are you following guys? Clear? Next to what happens? Y accepted a new bill. Y account to bills payable 42,000. Clear guys? Y accepted a new bill for 42,000. Are you all understanding till here? Anybody has a doubt till here? Leave above, sure, understanding. So on the due date, X unable to remit the money, accepts a new bill for 42,000 for 3 months, which is discounted by Y for 40,110. Who is discounting? Y. Will X pass any entry? No. So look at this, I am passing entries in the books of X, he will not pass any entry, but his entries in the books of Y will pass the entry for discounting. Are you following? Clear guys? So bank account debit 40,110, discounting charges 1,890, 2 bills receivable 42,000. Y will pass the entry in Y books, X will not pass. Now what is happening? Don't read what's given, you have to find how much will Y send back to X. Look at this. Y issued a new bill for 42,000. Discounted how much? 40,110. So 40,110 means discount charge is 1,890. This is what happened, correct? From this, how much should Y send to X? With question has the answer. But without looking at the answer, can you tell how much Y will send to X? We can compute. How do we do that? Question has it, but let's compute that even if question is silent over there. Look at this. Earlier I told you X is supposed to give Y how much? 20,000, but he failed to give that. Do you remember that I made you repeat? Keep it in the back of the mind. X has to give Y how much? 20,000. Keep it in the back of the mind. Now you put first the normal ratio. Normal ratio is 2:1. 2:1 means out of 40,000, how much should X get? Into 2 by 3, how much? 26,740, correct? How much should Y get? Into 1 by 3, how much? 370, correct? Are you following guys? In the same ratio, can you distribute discount also? 1,890, distribute how much? 1,260, 630. So if I add both of this, you will get how much guys? 28,000, 14,000 in the ratio of 2:1. If you understand this, sum is over. Look at this. Y discounted how much? Issued a bill for 42. Discounting charges 1,890. In hand, he got 40,110. Very easy topic, guys. Come on, next 3 days. We're going to finish all these 3 topics. 40,110. Correct? In this 40,110, Y should again give back to X in the ratio 2:1. This is a new bill. So he is giving to X 26,740. Y has 13 370. This is the net amount. Similarly, discount also will be shared in the ratio 2:1. So total of the bill 42,000, their share is 28,000 and 14,000. So how much should Y pay to X now? According to this transaction, 26, 740. Again, how much should Y pay to X? 26, 740. How much should X pay to Y? 20,000. Can I set off both? Yes. So I will set off the 20,000 and pay balance of 6,000. That only is given in the question. Y sends 6740 to X. Even if they don't give that, we can find out. Are you following, guys? So Y is sending 6740. So look at this carefully. Instead of sending 26,740, I will send only 6740 plus this discount also should be shared off. Discount or no reduction. Fully I will give him. Correct. So I am giving cash to whom? X is getting cash from Y. I am passing entries in the books of X. So X will pass cash account debit, discount account debit. How much cash is getting? 6740. What's the discount is sharing? 1260. 2 from whom is getting? Y. How much? Are you following, guys? Are you understanding this? This only is given here. I don't know, that's the entry given. Yeah. Are you following, guys? Hello? Same as previous sum equal sharing. Now 2:1. That's it. Are you following? Hello? Next, after this, before maturity, X becomes bankrupt. So bill has to be reversed. Bills payable to Y, and whatever is the 28,000 will be shared. How 28,000 came? How 28,000? His share out of 40, 2,000, 2:1. How much? 28,000. Or in other words, if you want to find in detail from the beginning of the sum, 30,000, take the calculator. If you want, try 30,000 minus 10,000. Wherever Y is coming, guys, wherever Y is coming, first credit 30,000 minus 10,000 minus 42 plus 8,000 plus 42, you will end up with how much, guys? 28,000. So this chapter you can check if your answer is correct in exam, because this 28,000 will be same as second bill into 2:1, because he has to repay that. Correct? Are you following, guys? Hello? Let me run through the entries in the other party books. There it is bills receivable. Here it will become bills payable. Opposite entries, guys. Here discounting, bills receivable. All the entries are same. Just the opposite of what we saw over there. Now, when it comes to this chapter, follow, guys. Chapter like bills. Follow. We are trying to close this in 3 to 4 hours. Correct? So I need effort from your side also. See, if it's a regular class, if we have 3 months left for exam, I can do daily one sum for 1 hour and we can drag it. We don't have that time. So I explain the whole concept for 2 sums. Ideally, I would like to solve them, but we have more sums. You have done it now. Now I'll give you another 2 to 3 minutes. Okay. I want you guys to first go through this sum. Illustration 11 and 10. If you want, I'll walk around over here. Online live can ask doubts in the group, or you can ask me. I'll somehow take that. Okay. And then we are going to do illustration 12 now, or after class today. We will do only and get home. Next I'll go to illustration 9. But let me brief 12. Tell me if it's similar to the previous 2 sums. Anil draws a bill for 9,000 on Sanjay for 3 months. Sanjay returns to Anil after accepting the same. Anil gets it discounted for some price, whatever, and remits Here they gave the share. Remits 1/3 amount to Sanjay. Okay. So it's in the ratio 2 is to 1. 2 is to 1 again. On the due date, Anil fails to remit the amount due to Sanjay. He accepts a bill for 12,600 for 3 months. Again, discounts it or remits so much. This you should be able to find out. 3220, you should be able to find out. Before maturity, he becomes insolvent, pays 50%. Same as above. Are you able to follow, guys? Now, who will do this sum? You guys will do it. Okay. Now or after you go home, before the next class, if you are not going to put your pen on the paper, and from they are asking entries in the books of, and you should do in both. If you are not able to put the pen on the paper and not able to write these, how many other entries are there? Around 7-8 entries. Then don't expect to gain control in this chapter. Only when you do, you are going to gain control. The thing is, when you started till now, are you understanding how we are solving? Understanding logic, but only when you solve, you will make some mistakes, some entries won't come. So this sum, I am not going to do it. I read and I told you, it's same as previous sum. You have to solve it by yourself. Clear, guys? Now end of the class or a little later. So now I'll give you next 2 to 3 minutes. Just go through illustration 10, 11, whatever you can. Whatever doubts you have, ask me right away. After which I'll go to the next sum. Illustration 9 will be the last sum. Why we can close accommodation? Yes, doubt. 4 also we will do. Yes. Whatever, let me do an easy sum first. Let me finish 4, then come to 9. Those who have finished going through the sums can start trying illustration 4. Understood accommodation bill? Sure. How many of you genuinely understood accommodation bill? Genuinely, you can be honest. Did not understand. It's okay, you can be honest. Hey, no one. That means you're not honest. Everybody understood. Really? Fine. You don't want an exam. I want to understand, but generally there will be somebody who will understand. Fine. How many of you attending first time bills of exchange chapter? One, straight up, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You guys, are you understanding? Sure? Sure. Face पर अभी तेरे लिए. Next to Kailash. Kailash, right? Sure. Yes. Sure, 100%. Come here. Come and solve illustration 12 for me. Come. Will you be able to do it? 12. End of the class, you do it. I'll pick some other sum from past exam. You do that. Okay. Delhi babu, purida. Purila. Little bit. Not understanding other half. First bill or second bill? Second bill. 12 we will do. Purila. Okay. Harish following 100%. Sure. Go through, guys. Discuss among yourselves. It's okay if you are loud. Discuss. Some of you won't understand. Discuss and learn. Online live recording. Go through, guys. I'll give you a few minutes. It's okay. It's okay. Discuss among yourselves. Be loud. Somebody won't understand something. Get it clarified among yourselves. Fast. After today, accommodation bills you will take only in exam. That's it. Don't touch again. Study now. Go to exam. Done following first row. Sure, 100%. Consignment. Understood? Go through, guys. Anybody has a doubt, just put your hand up. Online live, you can put in the group or send to me. I have the phone with me. Huh? 6740. Those who finished can try to pass entries in for illustration. Four transactions, roughly 4 or 5 journals. Try illustration 4, guys. In a minute I'll start, but just go through, try it out. Okay, let's. Anybody has any other doubt? I just got one doubt. Anybody else? Preferable, follow ICA template. Okay, let's proceed, guys. Guys, settle down. Hello. Settle down. Got it. Understood. No need. Fine. Follow, guys. Only one doubt. One student asked, can I club entries? You can club, but preferable try to stick to ICA template. That's the best always. Don't take the chance. Okay. Fine. Clubbing is allowed, but you can't club two concept different transactions. See, what you can club, interest and bills, you can club it. You can't club two completely different entries on different days. Guys, settle down, guys. When you are clubbing, if the transaction is on same day, appo club pannalam. Idu vandu 1st March, adu 15th April, you can't club those two. Guys, settle down. Yeah, let's start next one. Guys, done. Hello. Yeah, if time is there. Of bills. Sale or return basis, you check the practical sums. That's good. No, same. Okay, we will do that. Guys, settle down. Let's start. Done. Yeah, let's start guys. Illustration 4. Quickly 4 journals, easy ones. Katrak acceptance to Basu for 2500, discharged by a cash payment of 1000 and a new bill for the balance plus 50 for interest. Whose bills payable over here? This Katrak is bills payable because his acceptance, he is accepting the bill. For whom bills receivable? So for Basu or Basu, whatever it is, bills receivable. Bill is for how much guys? 2500. This has to be paid by Katrak. How is he paying? He is paying cash of 1000 and a new bill plus 50 for interest. So it will be bills payable account debit 2500, interest account debit 50, 2 cash 1000 and again new 2 bill for 1550. Correct? What is the amount? 2500, 1550. Correct? Can I pass separate entry? Yes. Look at this, what they have done. Bills payable account debit 2500. I have to pay extra interest 50, 2 cash 1000. Balance amount I'm giving a new bill. Are you following guys? Easy one first. Second, Gupta's acceptance for 4000 which was endorsed by Katrak to Mehta was dishonored. Mehta paid 20 noting charges, bill withdrawn against check. First try to understand what is happening in the transaction. Okay. Only illustration 2 has little bit to think. 3 and 4 are fairly simple. Look at this. First write down what is that. Gupta's acceptance for 4000 which was endorsed by Katrak. That means Katrak issued a bills receivable on Gupta. Correct? For Katrak it is a bills receivable. For Gupta it is a bills payable. Is that clear with the first point? How it's clear? It was endorsed by Katrak. Who can endorse? Only if I have the bills receivable I can endorse. Endorsed by Katrak to Mr. M. Mehta. So Katrak endorsed this to Mehta. Endorsing means Katrak asked Gupta to directly pay to Mehta. For Katrak there is one receivable, there is one payable. He tried to set off both, but it backfired. Are you following? If you look at Katrak's balance sheet, he had one bills receivable, he had one creditor. He tried to adjust both. Are you following guys? But while he was trying to adjust both, this fellow, this Gupta bill, look at this, which endorsed was dishonored. So Gupta's bill was dishonored. Gupta did not pay on due date. What happened next? Mehta paid 20 noting charges, bill withdrawn against check. Now Mehta is telling, I don't care what is happening between you two. I need my money. How much is that? 4000. Both the bills here are for 4000. So basically what happened guys, this is what you have to understand when you read the question. What is the question saying? Katrak issued a bill on Gupta. At the same time he had a liability to pay Mehta. So he endorsed Gupta's bill to Mehta asking him to pay 4000. Katrak would have been in peace if Gupta paid Mehta 4000 on time. Correct? But this fellow Gupta did not pay. Now who is getting unnecessary stress? Katrak, and first Mehta only will get the stress because Mehta will go to Gupta's house to collect for payment. How bills used to be paid? See, if we have negotiable instrument act, I can spend another 10 hours. Negotiable instrument act tells how to go collect the money. How you will collect the money? This bill which Gupta has is now in whose hands? Mehta. Mehta on the due date will go to Gupta's house or Gupta's business premises and collect that money. Are you following? How the practical side of it happens? We have an act called Negotiable Instruments Act in CA Inter, which is 85 pages in study mat CA Inter. Okay. It is removed from Inter and added to Foundation because next time law is 100. You are that fortunate batch where get through December. You don't have to study NI Act. Are you following? So you can decide if you want to study or not for exam. Fine. Okay. See, the intention is you don't have to study that because it's a very dry chapter. Okay, come back guys. So here now Mehta is, what to say, frustrated. So what Mehta will do, he will ask Katrak to pay the money. Now we have something called noting charges. What is noting charges, guys? Noting charges is basically done now, you guys. Can we proceed? When a check bounces, bank will put some charges. Same way when a bill dishonors, there has to pay based legal fees you have to pay because bill dishonored, advocate fee, court fee. So that fee is called noting charges. Beyond that, not in syllabus for now. Okay, noting charges means penalty, how to pay noting charges, how to pay interest, how to go legally for that. Okay, so that legal charges who paid? Mehta paid. Unnecessarily he paid extra 20. So Mehta is supposed to receive 4,000 plus this 20. So he has to get 4020. For this, what Katrak did? Gave him a check. Katrak gave him a check. Look at this. Bill withdrawn against check. I gave a check and I withdrew it. Who gave the check? Katrak gave it to Mehta. Later he will collect the money from whom? Gupta. So I have to pass two entries. One entry for giving check to Mehta. One entry for getting money again from Gupta. Correct? What are the two entries, guys? Come here. First, I am giving check. I am giving check to whom? Mehta. So Mehta account debit to bank account 4020. And before that, if you see, when I did endorsement, what would have been the entry for endorsement? Endorsing, what entry would have Katrak passed for giving Gupta's bill to Mehta? Mehta account debit to bills receivable. Correct? Are you following, guys? So what I did, I closed my liability and also closed my bills receivable. Now when this is reversing, the debtor will come back into the books. Who is the debtor? Gupta is back in the books. Gupta has to pay me. I should also pay Mehta. So my entry is Gupta to Mehta. That's my entry. Gupta to Mehta. How Mehta is settled 4020? Mehta to bank 4020. Following, guys? Clear? Namrata understanding? 100% sure? No. Simply you're saying. Okay. Done, everybody? Not following? Yes. 100%. Really? Really, I'm not getting that. This student understand. Follow, guys. Now, guys, follow. It's a simple transaction, but we need time to understand. Very simple. Let me again tell in a very simple way. Follow, guys. For those who don't understand, you tell me the entries. I want to know the entry when Katrak endorsed the bill to Mehta. Bills receivable 4,000. Mehta liability 4,000. This is how my balance sheet looked up first. So to settle this, I gave the bill to Mehta. Yes or no? So what entry I would have passed? Mehta 4,000. 2 bills receivable, endorsement 4,000 becomes 0, correct? These both are settled. Now later what happens? This fellow did not pay. So because bills receivable did not pay, to whom I gave that bill? Gupta. Now I have to again collect money from Gupta because Gupta didn't pay. So Gupta will again come back as a debtor. So entry will be Gupta account debit. To whom I should pay? Mehta, 4,000. Are you following? 520, that noting charge also I have to collect and pay. Are you following? Clear? No? Understanding? Sure? Everybody following, guys? Hello? Okay. Next two are very simple. Let's finish that. Dalal retires a bill for 2,000 drawn on him by Katrak for 10 discount. He is paying advance 10 rupees discount. He will pay how much? 1990. So I am receiving money. I am Katrak, entry in the books of Katrak, bank account debit 1990, discount is 10, 2 bills receivable 2k. This is easy, guys. Okay. Last one, look at this. Katrak's acceptance to Patel for 5,000, discharged by Patel. Modi's acceptance to Katrak for a similar amount. This has some printing issue in the question. Leave that. Katrak's, I mean the books of Katrak. Okay. Katrak's acceptance to Patel for how much? 5,000. So for Katrak it's a liability, correct, of how much? Discharged by Patel. Modi's acceptance to Katrak, that means I have a bills receivable how much? 5,000 for a similar amount. So I have one bills payable 5,000, I have a bills receivable 5,000. Now what is the question saying? Discharged by Patel. How is Patel discharging that? So question alone, that part is missing. Here the assumption is discharged by Patel and Modi's acceptance to Katrak for a similar amount. Basically they are trying to say this bills payable and this bills receivable are adjusted. That's it. Are you following? Here see Katrak's acceptance to Patel for 5,000. I have to pay, if you look at Katrak's balance sheet, to Patel I have to pay bills payable 5,000. Discharged by Patel, that means Patel paid it. Modi's acceptance to Katrak for a similar amount. So this side bills receivable Modi 5,000. What they are trying to say is I gave this bill. See, this actually is not correct. It should be discharged. See, Katrak's acceptance to Patel. So who has to pay Patel? Katrak should pay to Patel. So Katrak only should discharge. So the wording should actually be discharged by Katrak. How he discharged? By giving the Modi's acceptance bill. So this bill is given over here. So both becomes 0. Entry is bills payable account debit to bills receivable. That's my last entry. Are you following, guys? Clear? Understanding, everybody? That's a small correction in question. Leave that. Fine. Are you all understanding? That's it. We are done with accommodation bills. Subject to the last question. Illustration 9. Once this gets over, we will see how much time is left and then take a call. Last sum, guys. Now this is a massive sum. Okay. If you already know this sum, good. If this comes in exam, it will be a proper 10 marks question. If sorry, only 10. We will try to see some past exam questions before that. I'm just trying to find from bills. Consignment 10 marks. Sale or return. Account current. NPO. Last two questions are. This question paper it's not there. No, it comes. Okay, consignment 10 marks. Yeah, here you have a 5-mark question for bills. Okay. Okay, follow guys. Last 2 to 3 attempts, they have not asked accommodation bill much. Okay. Guys, follow. If they have not tested something, chance is more. Okay. That's correct, right? Okay. Which? Only for law I have, not for accounts. Accounts we can't guess. All chapters comes. Law is where I can guess. Okay. Fine. Guys, last question. We'll quickly finish this. And if time permits, I can introduce consignment because tomorrow's agenda is fully consignment. Consignment mandatory, guys. 10 marks in every attempt it comes. Consignment NPO put together 20 marks. Okay. Guys, can I have your attention? Hello. Sorry. Yeah, that also I'll try to fit into it. Tomorrow, day after, or some other day. Okay. Follow, guys. On 1st July, guys, settle down. Can we proceed, guys? On 1st July, George drew a bill for 1,80,000 for 3 months on Harry for mutual accommodation. Let me just read the question and then you see if you can solve this sum. Okay. By the time I finish reading, I'm sure half of you will give up. George drew a bill of 1,80,000 on Harry. Bill for 1,80,000. Follow, guys. Okay. For mutual accommodation, Harry accepted the bill of exchange. First line done. Is it easy, guys? Harry accepted the bill of exchange. Second, George purchased goods for 1,81,000 from Jack on the same date. So George from Jack, he purchased goods for 1,81,000. Clear? So here also we have finished with the first 2 lines. Always first 2 lines are easy. It creates the base. So George sold goods for, issued a bill, bills receivable, bills payable for 1,80,000. George purchased from Jack for 1,81,000 on same day. Now only question is going to start. George endorsed Harry's acceptance to Jack in full settlement. Here also fine, half the question over, super. So George endorsed Harry's bill, this bill to Jack for full settlement. So Jack got a bill for 1,80,000 plus 1,000 rupees is discount. This is what happens in most questions. So George is a seller. Sorry, George issued the bills. Harry has bills payable. George transferred. Now I'm going to erase and rewrite, guys. Look at this. George transferred the bill to Jack. Now Jack has the bills receivable. Correct? Jack has the bills receivable. Endorsement means actually giving the bill. If George is endorsing the bill, that bill will be physically handed over to Jack. Now Jack has the bill. Harry on due date will pay 1,80,000 to Jack. If it's a normal bill, it's fine. What bill is this? Accommodation bill. That means George and Harry should share half of. Correct? But without sharing or without discounting, George gave that bill to Jack so that George can escape now. That is what his intention is so far. Understood question till here? Nothing great, nothing complicated. Half the question over. Now, on 1st September, Jack purchased goods for 1,90,000 from Harry. We'll write that. Where is Jack? Jack is here. Jack has now purchased from Harry for 1,90,000. Are you understanding what is happening so far? Okay. Now what is happening next? Jack endorsed the bill of exchange receipt from George to Harry and paid 9,000 in full settlement. So Jack has what, guys? He has this bill. He gave the bill back to Harry. So I'm removing the bill here and adding bills. So I got the bill back. So Harry is the bills payable and the bills receivable. But he purchased goods for how much? 1,90,000. Bill is worth only 1,80,000. So he is paying along with this bill, bills receivable. He also gave a cash of 9,000 rupees as full and final settlement. So again there will be a discount of 1,000. Are you following, guys? Look at the transaction itself. To understand the question, it will take time. Usually I'll ask you to read, but we don't have so much time. George gave a mutual accommodation bill for Harry. That's how question started. Then George purchased from Jack for 1,81,000. Then again George took this Harry's bill and gave it to Jack. With this, George left the picture. Now Jack purchased from Harry in a separate transaction for 1,90,000. I have to pay him. Instead of paying, I only gave 9,000 in cash and I gave the bill back to Harry. Now a bill is there with Harry where he only is the bills payable, he only is the bills receivable. Are you following? But actually, if you see, Harry sold goods for 1,00,000. So he sold goods for 1,90,000. Nothing else is getting. He has to get the money. Correct, guys? Now what is happening? On 1st October, sum is not yet over. Harry purchased goods for 2 lakhs from George and he paid the amount due to George by check. No. George left the picture. He's back. What happened? How he came back? George sold to Harry for an actual transaction of 2 lakhs, or Harry purchased from George. They're asking finally how much should Harry make the settlement for? Are you understanding the question itself, guys? First, they have not even tested accommodation bills. I have just randomly saw last 3 to 4 papers. They have not tested. When something is not tested, it becomes important. For example, Law paper, you are writing law. Damages chapter, not tested in the last two attempts. So this time it's going to come. Contingent contract and quasi contract, not tested in last 2 attempts. This time get ready for that. Those 2 chapters. Any one of those 2 will definitely be in the paper. Damage or contingent. Like this, accommodation bills. See, bills itself will come for 5 or 10 marks rarely. It's a small chapter. Even account current and AD doesn't come always. Now bills, accommodation bill they have never asked. Can come for them. I'm not saying it's 100% going to come like damages. May come. But if it comes, it will come for a accommodation bill comes means 10 marks. Don't expect accommodation bill for 5 marks now. If it comes for 10 marks, why take the risk? This sum is difficult. I'll accept it's difficult, little higher than normal sums, but we will easily get through it. Follow. I'll again summarize the transaction one by one, because if you understand the question the way it's supposed to be understood diagrammatically, sum is over. This time we will write parties with how much money and how much money they should pay each other. George, Jack, Harry. Okay. First, what is happening? George issued a bill on Harry for how much? 1,80,000. Should Harry actually pay this? No. Should Harry actually pay this? No. Why? It's an accommodation bill. But usually accommodation bill is to give it to the bank. Here, accommodation bill George took to give it to Jack, to keep Jack silent for some time. Why I gave it to Jack? George was supposed to pay to Jack how much? 1,81,000. So, George has a negative cash outflow of 1,81,000. To settle this, he issued a bill on whom? Harry. For how much? 1,80,000 for George incoming. Outgoing for Harry is 1,00,000. This red only what I am writing here is the dummy bill. Correct? Is the accommodation bill. Actually, Harry will not pay. Actually, George will not receive. But by giving this dummy bill, I sent George out. Correct? George doesn't know it's dummy. George won't know it's accommodation or not. According to, sorry, not George, Jack. Jack will not know whether it's dummy bill or not dummy bill. According to Jack, on due date, who will pay him? Harry. How much he will pay? 1,80,000, 1,000 rupees is discount. Correct? What Jack did, instead of waiting till the due date, he purchased from Harry goods for 1,90,000. Correct? So, for Jack, there is going to be outflow of, no, first before that, this bill came to Jack. This bill is endorsed to Jack. Correct? How much is that? Plus 1,80,000 came to Jack. Correct? Now, what Jack did, using this, and Jack also, Jack should receive 1,81,000 also. Correct? I am writing all the cash inflow, cash outflow. See, now Jack has this dummy bill received in behalf of this payment of 1,81,000. So, this bills receivable from George jumped to Jack. This you understood of? Are you all following this part? I'll again repeat. Look at this. George, Harry, Jack. See, this part, if you understand, sum is over. Entries are not a big deal. George gave an accommodation bill of 1,80,000 to Harry. Let's look at how the bill alone is moving. That fake bill. Okay. We'll call it accommodation bill. For George, bills receivable. For Harry, bills payable. I'll write again. Bills payable. Jack sold to George 1,81,000. Is this clear? To settle this 1,81,000, George gave this bills receivable to Jack. Are you following? This bills receivable, who has to pay? Harry has to pay. So George escaped. George left the picture. He issued a bill, made the payment, George left. But actually George left off. He has to pay actually how much? 1,81,000. No, he purchased fully from Jack. So the liability, look at this, carefully follow guys. Liability of George is 1,81,000 even though he has endorsed the bill. Correct? Because why will Harry pay? Do you think Harry will make this payment to Jack? He will tell, I helped you, you make the payment. For the time being, Jack is settled, but George actually has to pay 1,81,000. All of you following? Understood till here? Are you getting confused? Understood till here, guys? Okay. Now what Jack did? He purchased from Harry goods for 1,90,000. So Jack should pay to Harry. So what Jack is saying, see, I have to pay you 1,90,000. You have to pay me 1,80,000. We will set off both. Are you following, guys? So he's saying 1,000 rupees discount anyway. The previous bill was discounted. So he's saying, I have to pay you 1,90,000. You have to pay me 1,81,000 with the full settlement. So balance only 9,000 I will pay you in cash as full settlement. You take this bill. Harry saw the bill and got shocked. The bill he accepted, he got it back. Are you following? So Jack also is relieved because if you look at Jack without the bill, he's supposed to receive 1,81,000. He's supposed to pay 1,90,000. So he's paying 9,000. Can you see? You remove the bill out of the picture. Imagine you are Jack. If I am Jack, from George I have to receive how much? 1,81,000. To Harry I have to pay how much? 1,90,000. I set off both and I paid 9,000. For difference only I am giving bill back. Effectively Jack is settled out of the picture. But Jack gave this bill back to Harry. So now Harry has bills receivable and bills payable. Now Harry is having bills receivable from whom? Final conclusion, okay? Conclusion, Harry has two things now. Bills receivable and both amount is the same. How much? Bills receivable from whom? Jack. Jack only gave the bill to him. Jack only gave him the bill. So he has to receive 1,80,000 from Jack. But he has to pay 1,80,000 to George. Correct? Now in this, which is real, which is fake? Receiving from Jack has to be real because he actually sold goods. To Jack, he actually sold goods. Correct? Here, it's fake because it's an accommodation bill. So if you are Harry, will you be satisfied? If I tell you, hey, you have a bills receivable for 1,80,000, you have a bills payable for 1,80,000, come on, set off. Will you be satisfied? No, you will tell, hey, bills payable is a dummy bills payable. Why should I actually pay? It's an accommodation bill. But bills receivable, I should really get money. I sold goods to Jack for how much? 1,90,000. I got only 9,000. I need to get 1,80,000. Harry is waiting. Are you following, guys? Understood? If you are Harry, I actually should receive money. I don't have to actually pay. That's why what Harry is doing in the last step, he is purchasing goods for 2 lakhs from George. So now he is actually, now look at Harry. This is not a real liability. So I am removing this. But this 1,80,000 is a real receivable of. So this, now he is incurring a new liability by purchasing goods for 2 lakhs from George. Now Harry will tell, now I will accept. I have to receive 1,80,000. I have to pay 2 lakhs. So effectively I will pay 20,000. To whom? George. And that's how your sum will end. Effectively pay George 20,000 rupees. Are you following, guys? Clear? Now let's look at the journal entries one by one. Same transaction, again revision. This is what you have to understand, guys. Of course, takes a little time. You have to put effort from your side also. Look at this. George account to bills. Let's go one by one. And now they're asking entries in the books of Harry and George. Okay. Who is Harry, for whom he made the first bills payable? Let's go one by one. First transaction, what happened in our story? George drew a bill for 1,80,000 on Harry. How many of you did this sum earlier? Understood? Now again got confused. Understood? Fine. George account, first George drew a bill for 1,80,000 on Harry. How much? 1,80,000. So in the books of Harry, it's George account to bills payable 1,80,000. In the books of George, how much it will be? Bills receivable to Harry. Look at this. Bills receivable to Harry, 1,80,000. Clear? I'm doing simultaneously. There bills payable, here bills receivable. Apart from that, George purchased from Jack how much? 1,81,000. So purchase to Jack. Which transaction is this? This one. Purchasing from George. George purchased from Jack how much? This one. 1,81,000. Clear, guys? So if you look at journals now, we are done with this bill and purchase goods. Till here entry is done. One bill receivable, one bill payable for two people, goods purchased for 1,81,000. Simple. George endorsed Harry's acceptance to Jack in full settlement. Now you tell me, look at the entries, guys. We'll go one by one. Look at the entries. George has two things now. Bills receivable from Harry, liability to pay to Jack. This liability is 1,81,000. This bills receivable is 1,80,000. So what is George doing? He gave this bills receivable to Jack. What will be the entry George will pass? Jack account debit to bills receivable. Correct? But amount is not same. So Jack account debit 1,81,000 to bills receivable 1,80,000. Difference is to discount or rebate. Correct? Who will pass this? George. So go to books of George first. Look at George entry. Jack account debit 1,81,000 to rebate 1,000 to bills receivable 1,80,000. Are you following, guys? Clear? Understood till here? Which transaction is this? This one. Acceptance. George endorsed it in full acceptance. Clear, guys? This no entry will come in books of Harry because Harry is not doing anything. Only George is giving the bill to Jack. Next, on 1st September 2019, Jack purchased goods worth 1,90,000 from Harry. Normal entry for purchase and sale. In the books of Harry, Jack purchased from Harry means for Harry it is a sale. What is the entry for sales? Jack to sales. How much? 1,90,000. That's it. That should be the entry. Jack account debit to sales. 1,90,000. That's all. Will I pass entry in other guys' books? No. Fine. Till here it's done. Now Jack endorsed the bill of exchange receipt from George to Harry and paid 9,000 in full settlement. How will you do this? Again, prepare a temporary balance sheet for Jack. Jack has one bill receivable for 1,80,000 from whom he got. First step, this George gave it to Jack. So George has one bill receivable for 1,80,000 receivable from Harry. At the same time, he also has a liability to pay 1,90,000 to Harry. So he is saying, I will adjust both of this. Correct? How he will adjust both of this? Harry is the liability because he purchased from Harry. Now I am passing in entries in whose books? Harry's books. So what is Jack doing? Giving this bill to his liability Harry. So in Harry's books, if you see, here if it's a liability, here it will be a debtor asset 1,90,000 from Jack. Are you following? So what is happening for Harry? Instead of 1,90,000, what he is getting? Bills receivable for 1,80,000, cash for 9,000, discount for 1,000. Correct? So this 1,90,000 will be replaced with bank account debit 9,000, bills receivable account debit 1,80,000, discount or debit 1,000 to Jack, because I have to pay Jack how much? 1,90,000. Go look at the entry. Look at this. I am giving a bill for 1,90,000, receiving cash of 9,000, discount 1,000 to Jack 1,90,000. Why to Jack? Look at the previous entry. I debited Jack. Correct? I debited Jack for sales. My debtor is Jack. How is Jack settling me? Look at this. My debtor is Jack for 1,90,000. He is settling me by giving 1,80,000 bills, cash, discount. Are you following, guys? Is this clear? Hello? Next. We are now towards the end. Jack endorsed the bill of exchange receipt from George to Harry. That only we saw now. 9,000 is fully paid. Last one. Harry purchased goods for 2 lakhs from. What is the normal entry for purchase? Purchase to George. So I will write here. Purchase to George how much? 2 lakhs. In George it is what? Sales. What is the entry? Harry to sales 2 lakhs. Their purchase, here it is sales. Following, guys. Now if you come back here, if you look at Harry, in the diagram, do you remember? He got back the bill. He has the bills receivable and bills payable. Which bill? 1,80,000. Now he has to cancel that off because I have the bills receivable and bills payable. Will I pay myself? No. So that is the next entry. Before that, if you see, bills payable to, look at the narration also. Own acceptance, receipt from Jack's endorsement cancelled. My bill came back to me. See, are you able to follow, guys? It's like I have to pay myself. So I'm cancelling that 1,80,000. This is that key entry. After this ending, I told you, after all this, how much should Harry pay to George? 20,000. So here George to bank 20,000. There I will get bank to Harry 20,000. Sum comes to an end. Are you following, guys? Understanding? Clear? Hello? Go through the sum. Take a minute. Go through. Only I explained. I understood. I bit what I took this few times. Okay. You understood or not is what important. You have to solve the sum only to see it, guys. Otherwise, don't think you know it. Now it's fresh in your memory, like it's in your RAM. Okay, I've seen this. It looks fresh, looks familiar. Only if you go home and again solve, it will hit you, hey, why this came, why that came. So today, accommodation bills, you have to solve a bills chapter. Those who are studying first time, go through everything. Those who already studied, go home and solve illustration 9, and if you have other books, do from whatever book, guys. That's it, illustration 12. There should be some practical questions behind. As far as I know, they are only simple sums. Yeah, go through, they are pretty easy, guys. Okay, our answers also given. Yeah, they are easy sums. Go through them so that your bills of exchange chapter will be done. Following, guys. Hello. Take a minute time. Go through this question number 9. It's best if you finish learning now itself. I'm sure many of you would have understood 50%, 70%, 80%. Go through, ask the doubts now. I'll clear it right away. Take few minutes, 2 to 3 minutes. Go through illustration 9 at your end, which is very important. I'm just noting down all the doubts. I'll ask together. I'll solve together. One doubt is how in the ending 20,000 came. Apart from everything else you understood. Same doubt. Yeah, I'll explain. 20K I will explain, guys. Understood. Go through, discuss in the class, guys. Lakshmi understood fully. 20,000. Done, guys. Yeah, next doubt. Sorry. Cancellation entry. I'll wait for another 30 seconds. Any other doubts? Done, Sanjeev. Okay, follow, guys. I got two doubts. One is explain that 20K again. Cancellation entry, both are related. I'll do it. Any other doubt apart from this? Okay. I'll anyway do a whole some overview. Okay. Usually this sum we spend 1 hour 30 minutes. We are not in regular batch, so 45 minutes. I'm hoping you're understanding. That's why I'm giving you time to go through. Look at this, guys. I'll do the whole summary again. Who are the three parties? That's it. Okay. First, George issued a bill for 1,80,000 on Harry, where George is having bills receivable, Harry is having bills payable. But should Harry actually pay? The question starts and ends here. Should Harry actually pay this money? No. It's an accommodation bill. நான் pay பண்ண வேணாம். See, accommodation bill previously we learned we have to share. Not always. Sometimes we have to share half of, sometimes 1/3, sometimes no share. Here there is no share. Full money is taken by whom? George. That's the first understanding. We are not sharing half of like previous sums here, because nowhere in the question it's mentioned that money is sent. So here the accommodation is fully 100% for the benefit of George. What benefit of George? George purchased from Jack goods worth 1,81,000. So this bill is issued fully and wholly, exclusively for the benefit of George. Is that clear, guys? In the question la sharing e kadiyadu. Like previous sum, half, 1/3, no share. So to pay to Jack, George gave one dummy bill to Jack for 1,80,000, telling him that Harry will pay 1,80,000 rupees as discount. Entries you know. Okay. So Jack also believed and took the money, and George escaped. Okay. I gave the bill, I have to pay. Now Jack has to get 1,80,000 from Harry. Harry kudupana kaasa kudukka maatan. Harry will not pay this money. But even before the due date came, this fellow Jack from Harry, in a different transaction, he purchased goods for 1,90,000. So if you look at Jack, if I am Jack, in Jack's balance sheet, there is a receivable for 1,81,000 and there is a payable for 1,90,000. Correct? If you look at Jack, he has to pay 1,90,000 and receive 1,81,000. So he is setting off both. This is only represented by the bill. Who has the bill now? Jack, because George gave it to Jack. Jack has the bills receivable. So this bill he is giving to Harry and setting off with 1,90,000. This liability and asset is set off, and the difference of 9,000 is also paid to Harry. So Harry got the bill back. He has the bills receivable and bills payable. So in Harry's balance sheet, there is the bills receivable and bills payable. Harry should pay whom? George. But now the bill receivable also is my name. Payable also is my name. I have to pay myself. From one bank account I should transfer to one more bank account and tell entry passed. Will I do that? No. So these both I will set off. That's why set off entry. Bills payable to bills receivable. Clear? No more bills. Once this entry is passed, bills are wound up, closed. Inga start on a bill, திருப்பி அவனுக்கே வந்துச்சு சுத்திட்டு. So bills are wound up. Now for Harry, if you look at him, yeah, after all this got over, if you see, Harry basically had two bills. Bills receivable, bills payable. Correct? Bills receivable also is for 1,80,000. Bills payable also is for 1,80,000. We set off both. But actually it's not fair for Harry. Why? Bills payable is towards George. Bills receivable is from Jack. Correct? Jack கிட்ட நிஜமாவே காசு வரணும். ஏன்? I sold goods to him for 1,90,000. So from Jack, if I am Harry, from Jack I should really get 1,80,000. But is this something I should really pay to George? No. But something which I really don't have to pay, I set off both by getting the bill. So will Harry be happy? No. It's like setting off the accommodation bill with the receivable and telling it's fine. It's like telling Mitansh, here I am giving up bills on you. Bills payable for you, bills receivable for me. Will you actually pay? No. So I gave a bill of 10,000 on Mitansh. Mitansh should pay me 10,000. Will you actually pay? No. Tomorrow I am going to Mitansh's shop and buying some clothes for 10,000 rupees. No, I am telling Mitansh, hey, that bill you have to give. No, adjust. What you will tell? Sir, what sir? Simply you asked me to sign, I signed. You said class demo accommodation bills. Now you are asking me to set off. Will you accept? No. Same way here, Harry, he simply signed this bills payable with George. But bills receivable is actually something receivable. So Harry is disappointed. To remove the disappointment only, he went to George. And from him he actually purchased goods for. So now he actually has to pay George how much? 2 lakhs. And receive from here, bills receivable, 1,80,000. Set off both, he has to pay 20,000. Are you following? Lakshmi not getting that. Got it. Okay. Got it. Are you understanding, guys? So that 20 is paid and settled. Clear? Huh? Are you following, guys? With that, accommodation bill comes to an end. That is why this accommodation bill is void as per law. Real life no one does it, but examiner, if he wants, he can ask. Last 3 items from whatever I have seen in the paper just now in front of you. Accommodation bill is not there. Bills chapter is there for 5 marks. Clear, guys? So you have to do question number 12. Now your choice. You want to wind up and go home, you can wind up and go home. If you can stay for another 30 minutes, I can introduce consignment. Your choice. Majority, your choice, guys. How many of you continue now? Consignment for another 30 minutes, 20 minutes introduction and close. Your choice. Majority. How many of you go home? Fine. Tomorrow I'll start consignment again at 2:15. You can keep, because morning 8 to 1 I'll be having inter, 8 to 2 I'll have inter. I'll finish 2:15. I'll start off consignment. We will continue until consignment gets over. Is that fine? Tomorrow I can extend till 7, so that day after I can do NPO. Okay. So revise consignment and come. One last thing, guys. I am not going to teach you consignment with core concept. No. We are going to keep consignment discussion exam oriented. How to get those 10 marks, what we need over there. That's it. It's going to be an exam oriented discussion for consignment, crash discussion. See you all tomorrow in the next session. Thank you.